We got the Sabres game on. We have March Madness for both the men and women's basketball coming up. And then, of course, next week, NFL free agency begins. What a time to be alive. Welcome to Believers Talk. My name is Joe, and we are here live for the Buffalo Sabres game. But that's not all we're here to talk about, guys. We will talk about the men's college basketball team, the Buffalo Bulls, of course, the women Bulls, what needs to happen for both these teams to make the tournament on both their selection days. We have the MAC tournaments coming up. Of course, the Buffalo Bulls, both men's and women's, part of the Mid-Atlantic Conference. So we look forward to watching those tournaments as the men's kicks off March 11th. And then the men Bulls don't play until March 14th. Both the women and the men got that bye. Got that bye week. So, we got bye game, I guess you should say, right? Obviously, it's not a full week. So we have the Sabres going up against the Blackhawks on this TV here. We'll talk about them, of course, and the disappointment that they have been this season after getting off to such a hot start now at 30, 28, and 8. Not exactly the second half of the year that we wanted to see from our Buffalo Sabres. But they play the Blackhawks in Chicago tonight, so we'll be watching that game. I'll be giving you a reaction to this game as it happens. Always good to see Rick Jenneret in the studio. Always good to hear his commentary play much better than mine. But we know we only have a few more years left possibly of his commentary, so enjoy it while you can. One of the best in the business to ever do it at any level. So really enjoy listening to his commentary. And then again, we'll talk about the Buffalo Bills. We'll talk about free agency. Free agency starts March 13th. You can start talking to free agents March 11th. So you hear rumors come out, and guys, we will have you covered right here on Believers Talk. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button now, like this video, and leave a comment or two. We'll happily talk about whatever you want to talk about, whether it be the Case Keenum just being traded to the Washington Redskins. We'll talk about Tyree Jackson, where we think he'll go in the NFL draft, what team he might end up with. We just talked about that with Louis T. actually on his network. If you're not a fan of his, I'm a huge fan of his. He's a Redskins fan. And so he went live with the announcement of the Case Keenum signing. So we talked a little bit about the Tyree Jackson situation. And maybe the Redskins are still in line for a quarterback. Case Keenum's not going to be your answer forever. So it'll be interesting to see what they do at the quarterback position when it comes to the NFL draft, which is coming up here in April. And again, we will be live for that. So not only do you want to hit that subscribe button, guys, not only do you want to hit that like button, that thumbs up, you want to hit that notification bell, and YouTube will notify you when we go live, so that way you won't miss a thing here on Believers Talk. And follow us on Twitter too. Twitter handle is in the description below. Follow us there. I do try to keep you up to date on Twitter on when we go live on Bills news and things of that nature. We just had a couple tweets about the women Bulls team clinching that first round bye when it comes to the MAC championship. So we look forward to talking more about that. But let's get ready for this game between the Buffalo Sabres and the Chicago Blackhawks. I'm wearing my Jack Eichel jersey, hopefully to bring us some good luck. If you haven't been following me on Believers Talk, you know that I've done a couple videos about firing Phil Housley, the head coach. I've done a live stream when we played the Devils just a couple weeks ago, and doing this live stream. We'll probably do one or two more before the season lets out. But I love being live with you guys on Thursday. Started when the football season started with Thursday Night Football. Was live at halftime for my prediction show for the game coming up for the Buffalo Bills, because we are live for every single Buffalo Bills game. And then, of course, we do the live post game on Mondays. But we kept up with the tradition of being live on most Thursdays, even during the off season. Because again, guys, it's the off season for most football fans, but it's not really the offseason, right? A lot of things going on. NFL Combine just ended. I have the list of names of who the Buffalo Bills spoke to, who they interviewed, who they're interested in. These are the names you want to see. Thanks a lot, Don Montgomery. Welcome to Believers Talk. Listen, this new season for the Buffalo Bills is going to be very exciting, right? Again, if you guys haven't checked it out, I have a video where I predicted the Buffalo Bills will have 2 championships in the next 10 years. That starts this season, so 2019 is the first year of those 10. I think it's going to really happen, whether it be the Buffalo Sabres, who I know the second half of the season has been a slump, and we don't want to think about that, but you look at that first half of the season, maybe all we need is get a new head coach in there, get a couple new good players in there, especially on the defensive side, and we'll see what happens. Or if it's that Buffalo Bills team, man, they're young, They're exciting to watch. At least this past season they were. Let's see what happens with them as well. I'm very excited. Don Montgomery, good to see you in here again. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I know Dawn's a subscriber, and thank you for saying that you love my channel. I appreciate that. And I love you guys being here. So again, I appreciate all of you. So we'll go over the Buffalo Sabres again, starting this game. Getting ready for this game. We'll go over the starting roster, or starting three, I should say. We all know that that switches from time to time, so we'll go over who the starters are for this game as soon as it comes up for me. I promise we will here, guys. Blackhawks having a down year as well. Blackhawks are below 500 as well. So, Buffalo Sabres not that good on the road. We struggle on the road. Let's hope that that improves as we are on the road today against the Chicago Blackhawks. So, we go into the Buffalo Sabres lineup for today's game against the Chicago Blackhawks. Our first line, hold on, it's coming up. I got it. No. Our first line is Jeff Skinner, Jack Eichel, and Sam Reinhart. Our second line is going to be Connor Sheary, Evan Rodriguez, and Kyle Okposo. And then our third line, Scott Wilson, Casey Milstead, and Jason Pominville. Still enjoy seeing him in that Sabres uniform. And then the fourth line is Zemgus Jurgensons, Vladimir Sobotka, and Tage Thompson. You look at our defensive lines, you got Marco Scandella, Rasmus Ristolainen, Zach Bogosian, Brandon Montour, who we just got in a trade, right, with Anaheim, so good to see him, Rasmus Dahlin, and of course Casey Nelson. And at goal we got Carter Hutton for today's matchup. So again, guys, thank you for joining me. Let's talk about Coach Phil Housley. Again, guys, you know how I feel about Phil Housley. Think that he should be gone as the Buffalo Sabres head coach. But let's talk about him a little bit. And this, see, I have a little bit of an issue with this, and I don't know how you guys will feel. I always have an issue when a team hires someone to be their head coach that was an ex-player. I'm not saying that they can't get the job done. We've seen it before where ex-players have come and gotten the job done. But my issue is you always hold on to them for a bit longer than you probably should for sentimental reasons, right? Like, okay, so we have Phil Housley here, played for the Buffalo Sabres for 8 seasons, starting in 1983 all the way to 1990. In those 8 years, he he scored 178 goals, 380 assists, 558 points. Great job for a defenseman, to score 558 points in those games in not 8 seasons for the Buffalo Sabres. In the playoffs, he played in 35 games for the Buffalo Sabres, 10 goals, 17 assists, 27 points. So again, for a defenseman, that's pretty good. So we appreciate that, and we thank him for that. And he was a great player for us, and I really do appreciate that about him. Some of you young guys might not know that he used to play for the Sabres, but he did. But that does not mean anything when it comes to coaching. So you look at him as a head coach. Okay, I know this is only his second season as the Sabres head coach. Originally in Nashville as an assistant coach there, but second season as the Buffalo Sabres head coach. Last season we went 25, 45, and 12. This season 30, 28, and 8 so far. That's just not getting the job done. 55, 73, and 20 in his career as a head coach. Now, I don't know if we're waiting for the end of the season to see who becomes available on the head coaching market. And at this point, do you just want to see what he has left at the end of the season? But this team, to me, has just looked like a team that is just happy not to be in last place. An 8-year playoff drought when half the teams in your conference make the playoffs. Like, you should have been able to sneak your way in one of those 8 years. This isn't like the NFL, right? Where you have 16 teams in your conference and only 6 make it into the playoffs, right? Which is still a pretty good percentage. But no, here you have 15 teams in a conference and 8 make the playoffs. More than 50% of the teams make the playoffs, guys. 16 out of 30 teams make the playoffs. That's insane. And you can't back your way in. You can't sneak your way in. Carter Hutton, 16, 18, and 4 on the season, 9.911 save percentage. And guys, he's been playing better than that. He's better than that. Like, I mean, there's so much that goes on this defense, and that's part of my issue with Phil Housley. He's a defensive guy. In Nashville, he helped the defense, and that's our problem. Let's imagine that Jeff Skinner wasn't having as good of a year as he's having. What would have happened? What would have happened at that point? if Skinner was having a normal up to now Jeff Skinner year, what would our record be? But no, Jeff Skinner's playing really well. Really well. Towards the All-Star break, he was second in the NHL in goals. So, it's just, I just don't understand why the defense is the problem on this team as we get ready for the face-off of this game. And again, thank you guys for joining me, and we will be talking about the Buffalo Bills. We will be talking about the Buffalo Bulls. There's plenty of things to talk about during this live stream of the Sabres-Blackhawks game, which has the face-off officially happened, and we are underway here in Chicago. The Buffalo Sabres get the puck in the zone to start off. Shot wide of the net, and now the Blackhawks take it up, are unable to clear the zone. They turn it over in their own zone. There's a shot on goal. Actually, it's blocked before it gets on goal, and the Blackhawks take it to center ice before it's taken by the Sabres yet again. So far, all the play either in center ice or in the Blackhawks zone so far in the first period. So again, get some good pressure here as there's a shot on goal, saved by the goalie and held onto. Looks like Rodriguez was falling into the net. No, Rodriguez shot the puck, and it was held onto and saved by the Chicago Blackhawks. Crawford, I believe, is the goalie for them today. So again, we will talk about the Bills. We'll talk about the Bulls. We'll talk about the Sabres. It's going to be a good time. Hope you guys are ready to join me for this live stream. What was I getting ready to look up? I don't remember what I was getting ready to look up. I grabbed my phone. I don't even know. Maybe one of you guys can tell me what I was getting ready to look up on my phone, because I sure as heck don't remember. But again, thank you guys for joining me on Believers Talk. My name is Joe. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Like this video, and let me know if you have any comments as we continue to watch the Sabres-Blackhawks game. 19 minutes to go in the first period. There was a puck clearance to the Blackhawks side of the ice, and the Sabres iced the puck. So with 18:59 to go in the first period, there will be a face-off in the Sabres zone. So 0-0 here. Let's talk about the Buffalo Bills. Guys, the Combine just ended, right? Combine just ended. So what does that mean? Well, at the NFL Combine, you have the ability, all teams have the ability to talk to, interview certain players, if you will, players that they're interested in. It gives you a little bit of a head start. It gives you a little bit of a glimpse of who teams might be interested in as they interview these players. So I'm going to go through that list. We have a list of players that they interviewed at the Combine. We have a list of players that they interviewed at the Senior Bowl and at the East-West Shrine game as well. So we'll go through that list. We'll talk about those players. I have the free agency list, guys. I have every single position broken down free agency. We'll talk about the positions of need for the Bills. I'll go over some names as the Blackhawks shoot it, and it's shot wide of the net. So it's still 0-0, 18-15 to go in the first period here between the Blackhawks and the Sabres. Sabres have the puck in their own zone. They turn it over, which has been a problem all season long for the Buffalo Sabres, and the Blackhawks get back to the point, and they try to set up in the Sabres zone behind the net. But anyhow, so we have every single free agent player for every position. We can go over that, go over the wide receiver position, the tight end position, the running back position, whatever you want to go through, and talk about who the Buffalo Bills could use at each position. As free agency gets ready to start, going to start here on March 13th. Again, March 11th, which is Monday, starts the time period when coaches and teams can talk to free agents, and then on March 13th you can start signing free agents. But by that time, a lot of times you'll see signings in principle and things like that before March 13th. 17:25 to go in the first period. Still 0-0 between the Chicago Blackhawks and the Buffalo Sabres. Again, thank you for joining me on Believers Talk. But we also have the list of players the Bills met with at the NFL Combine. We'll go through that list as well, and we'll talk about some of these players that I like before we get my mock draft out there. There is an offsides on the Sabres, so with 17:07 to go, there will be a face-off towards center ice. So let's talk about some of these Buffalo Bills or the players Buffalo Bills met with at the NFL Combine. First on the list, some of these are in alphabetical order. I actually had to pull up two lists to make sure I got every name. So I want to make sure that I say everyone that we visited with at the NFL Combine. So the first name on my list is A.J. Brown, wide receiver from Ole Miss. I know everyone's excited as the Sabres win the faceoff and they're taking it to center ice, and they have the puck, trying to move it into their zone, and they do. Everyone's talking about DK Metcalf and the monster that he is. Had a great NFL Combine, so I'm not even going to argue with you about how much of a beast he is. Excuse me, guys. But if you watch his tape at Ole Miss, there are still some question marks about DK Metcalf. I know a lot of people fell in love with him at the combine. A lot of people fell in love with the type of athlete that he is, and it's easy to fall in love with that. It's easy to fall in love with that. I've heard two comparisons. I have to do a quick shout out to the guys over at #Sports for these comparisons. I've heard him compared to Terrell Owens as far as physical stature. And you know, obviously, if you can draft a TO, you're going to do it every time, right? Top 3 wide receiver in the league of all time, probably top 2, depending who you ask. Right, John? But anyway, and so you talk about them. You talk about him in that light, and you say, of course, that would be a great athlete to have on your team. But then another guy that Paul was quick to bring up from #Sports, David Boston. A lot of you might not remember him. He was a wide receiver, came out and was completely, I mean, pretty much a bust, right? I believe he was drafted by the Arizona Cardinals at first, and then in the first round too. So he came out, he was highly touted and things like that. Like people were talking about him. And he has never got going. So I look at A.J. Brown. You look at A.J. Brown's stats, better than DK Metcalf's at Ole Miss. Now, was that because a lot of teams were double covering DK Metcalf? Was that due to DK Metcalf's injury while at Ole Miss? Obviously, those have something to do with it. But A.J. Brown was not a slouch in Ole Miss, and I would not be too disappointed if he's available maybe in the second round or early third, and we're able to pick him up, maybe trade down and get a late second, and then pick him up there. That would be great, I think, for the Buffalo Bills. Going to another wide receiver from Oklahoma. You're talking about Marquise Brown, wide receiver. We talked to him at the NFL Combine. Again, guys, we know that wide receiver is a position of need, so we will be looking at the wide receiver position, whether that be in free agency or if that be in the NFL Draft. Tricks, how you doing? Good to have you. Who do you have us taking in the first round? Who have the Bills taking in the first round? Well, I will be doing a show on that. Obviously, I'll do a Buffalo Bills 7-round mock, and I will also. And if you don't know, if you're just joining me, I'm watching the Sabres game while I'm talking to you guys. So if I'm not looking at the camera, it's because I'm watching the Sabres game. Currently 14:45 to go in the first period. Still 0-0. Sabres just got the puck into their zone. Eichel takes a shot from the point, and it is saved by Crawford. So I'm talking about that as well. Crawford makes the save and holds on to the puck, so that means there will be a face-off in the Blackhawks zone. So, but I also do want to talk about the Buffalo Bills, and again, I will be doing a 7-round mock. I will be doing a first-round mock for everybody. I'll be doing a 7-round mock for the Buffalo Bills, and I'll do a first-round mock as well. But who do I have the Buffalo Bills taking in the first round? Guys, I'm not gonna lie. I think a lot of teams and a lot of people fell in love with DK Metcalf's combine. I really do. And again, obviously it's for obvious reasons. But personally, I don't think he'll be around at 9. I think he impressed people that much that he might not be around at 9. But I'm not going to lie, guys, that's not going to disappoint me. Because obviously if DK Metcalf is on the board at 9, it's going to be really tough for the Bills to overlook him. I get that. But with all the needs this team has and with how deep the wide receiver position is in this draft, I won't be upset if we wait on wide receiver. That's just how I feel. Now, again, could we be passing up on a potential wonderful, great wide receiver? Yeah, absolutely can be. But could we be passing up on the next David Boston? Yes, we absolutely can be doing that too. So you don't know where you're at there. I've heard some people have us taking Jawan Taylor, offensive lineman from Florida. I wouldn't mind that so much. I think that would be a pretty decent pickup. I would love to say that Jonah Williams would be available, someone like that. But I don't know. And then I also want to point out that I think there is a good chance that we trade down. I really do. But again, in order to trade down, you need a trade partner, right? You can't just trade down with whoever you want and say, hey, Miami, we're going to trade down with you. Hey, Washington, we're going to trade down with you. Those were two teams that I thought we have a possibility of trading down with. But that's not necessarily the case. But I also had this dream scenario where Oakland would trade down to our position, and we would get both of their later first-round draft picks, and they have 2 top 10 picks. So you have to be careful with that. But at the same time, why would Oakland trade up? I'm not sure. Maybe they don't believe in Derek Carr. But that's another topic for another day. What quarterback's going to be available at 9? You know what I mean? So if we're stuck at the 9 spot, Ed Oliver has been a very tricky. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Ed Oliver has been on a lot of mocks as well from Houston. And again, I've said this before, and I'll say this here. This isn't like last year. Last year's draft, we went into it as Bills fans saying we need a quarterback, right? It wasn't who are we going to pick up from this plethora of a playing field. It was out of the 4 names, who are we getting? And possibly 5 if you want to throw Lamar Jackson in there as well. But it was Darnold, Mayfield, Rosen, Allen. Which one were we getting? And Steve and I, if you guys remember Steve with me, we both loved Josh Rosen, right? We both, he had Josh Rosen as his number 1 quarterback. I actually had Josh Rosen as number 2 quarterback. I had Baker as my number 1. And we both sat here thinking it was Rosen, especially when Baker and Sam went 1 and 3. We're sitting there, we're thinking, okay, well, then we're getting Rosen. And then we picked Allen. And I'm not going to lie, at first we weren't happy about it. But then we did a video about how you had to believe in Allen. And that actually became one of our most popular videos. And I still believe that. Allen gave us a lot of things to be excited about in his first season. And if we improve that offensive line, improve the talent around him, then I think we'll be all right. I did see some Juwan Taylor. I did see some mock drafts giving us Ed Oliver. Early on, I saw some drafts giving us that tight end from Iowa. I forget his name off the top of my head. I'm looking through my paperwork. Not Noah Fant, even though I like Noah Fant a lot. But he might be a second-round tight end I'd be interested in getting. Very much so. T.J. Hawkinson. That's the guy I'm talking about. T.J. Hawkinson, tight end from Iowa. Some mocks had us getting him at 9. And I don't know, guys. It's just something about getting a tight end in the top 10 that I'm not so fond of. I'm not saying that he's not going to be a great player. He very well might be. Every mock has him going in the first round. He is the best tight end in this draft. But with the type of tight end he can be, that's amazing. But if you look at our history, and if you look at Brian Dable's history of using tight ends in an offensive scheme, it's not that great. Again, my friends over at Hashtag Sports, Mario and Paul, they actually did a video about Dable and how he uses tight ends in their offensive system. So go check that out. And it's not that much, right? They use facts to show you how little Dable normally uses tight ends in his offensive scheme. So would it be worth picking up a tight end in that 9 spot? Who knows? Maybe as the Sabres and Blackhawks still tied 0-0 with 12:20 to go. Blackhawks are on the power play for the next. They have a minute left on the power play as the Sabres did clear the zone. So still 0-0 here, 12:12 to go in the first period. So, but yeah, something about taking a tight end in the first round, especially when we have an offensive coordinator who isn't big on tight ends. Yeah, no tricks. I agree with you. If we trade down, maybe at the 15, 16 spot, pick up an extra second and 4th. Then you pick them up and you say, hey, we got a great player. We got some extra picks. Very exciting, right? But again, in order to trade down, you need someone to trade with you. But if Brandon Beane is correct, or if Brandon Beane was telling the truth about only taking the best player available, how can you take a tight end at 9? You get what I'm saying? And I'm not knocking T.J. Hawkinson. I think he is going to be a great player. But is he going to be the 9th best player in this draft? I just don't buy that. So we'll see what happens. Again, obviously, if he becomes like a Gronk type player, great pick. Early Gronk. If he becomes, I don't know, somebody else, who knows? And of course, we also have to realize that a lot of this is going to be determined on free agency, right? Again, I have a list of all the free agents available. We'll go over that during this game as well, as there's 11 minutes to go. The Sabres did kill off the power play, so it's good to see them kill off power play. Actually been doing a lot better as of late on the power play. Chicago does get the puck in the Sabres zone, gets a shot on goal, saved, and kicked away to the side, back to the point, and then saved again, and this time held on to. So there will be a face-off in the Sabres zone. So again, 0-0 still between the Blackhawks and the Buffalo Sabres. Again, thank you for joining me again. My name is Joe. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Thank you for joining me. Leave a comment on the side here. We'll go over everything. Like I said, we're going to go over the NFL Combine, who the Buffalo Bills interviewed. We got through 2 names so far. And then we're going to go over some free agency stuff, who the Bills could pick up in free agency. Go over the NFL.com just released their top 100 go through some of those players, top 100 free agents available. And then we'll also talk about the Buffalo Bulls. Again, March Madness, also just around the corner. Selection Sunday, I believe, is going to be March 17th. I think that's a Sunday, March 17th, so we'll know where the Bulls go. Before that, of course, March 11th starts the MAC Championship. Buffalo Bulls won't play until March 14th as they have clinched the #1 seed by clinching the MAC regular season championship. So again, congratulations to the Buffalo Bulls. Second year in a row. Only 10 more to go to catch the record, which Kansas just lost. Kansas has the record for most consecutive conference championships. They will not win it this year. This will be the first time in 14 years that they have not won their Big 12. So we'll talk about that a little bit. We'll talk about the women Buffalo Bulls teams again. I did a video on. I'm sorry, something that's happened on my phone. Hold on. Sierra Dillard did a video on her and her getting over 2,000 career points in her collegiate career. Not all with the Buffalo Bulls. Started her collegiate career with UMass. As the Sabres take the puck in the zone, get a shot on goal. Shot goes wide, it looked like, or maybe it was deflected by the goalie. Sabres have the puck behind the net, getting a good scoring opportunity going here. Rodriguez with the puck at the point, puts it back into the zone, behind the net. Sabres control the puck behind the net. Pass, it looks like to Middlestat. Rusalian with a shot. Looks like it went behind the net. Sabres get the puck in the front and unable to connect with the pass, so now the Blackhawks take it out of the zone. So again, with less than 10 minutes to go in the first period, still 0-0 here between the Buffalo Sabres and the Chicago Blackhawks. Buffalo Sabres already killed off one of the Blackhawks' power plays. The Sabres have yet to be on the power play, so the puck is held by Crawford, and there will be a face-off in the Blackhawks zone when we're back from commercial break. 9:38 to go in the first period there. So again, thank you for joining my Believers Talk. My name is Joe. If you're new, hit that subscribe button, like this video, hit that little thumbs up, guys. If you would do me that favor, have at least 7 people in here, so hit that thumbs up button for me. See 7 likes, that'd be awesome. So let's go through the Buffalo Sabres, who they met with, or Buffalo Bills, I'm sorry, who they met with at the NFL Combine. Again, we talk about A.J. Brown. Huge fan of A.J. Brown. Fox 87, welcome to Believers Talk. Glad you can make it. We're talking about the Buffalo Sabres game on. Watching that, still 0-0 between them and the Blackhawks. Not sure if you're watching it too. Talking about the Buffalo Bills, who they met with at the NFL Combine, who they interviewed, because a lot of times you can tell where their interests are by who they interviewed. We talk about the first 2 guys on this list in alphabetical order. A.J. Brown, Marquise Brown, 2 wide receivers, 1 A.J. Brown from Ole Miss, and 2 Marquise Brown from Oklahoma. Both great wide receivers in their collegiate career. Again, huge fan of A.J. Brown. I think he's getting overlooked with everyone talking about DK Metcalf. He had a great combine as well, and I think he is going to be a very solid wide receiver in the NFL. So going down this list again in alphabetical order, you got Brian Burns, defensive end, outside linebacker from Florida State. Again, we run that 4-3, so it's more likely he would play the defensive end position for us, and we could use some depth there, right? We have Jerry Hughes on the one side, okay, and Jerry Hughes had a great year for us, right? I mean, he was unbelievable, so really appreciate him. But we could always use some depth, and Brian Burns would add that depth for us again. So we'll see what happens there. Bobby Evans, offensive tackle, Oklahoma. We all know the struggles that the Buffalo Bills have at the offensive line positions. We're going to try, again, improve that during free agency, but we'll also need to improve that in draft. Again, you can argue that all 5 positions need change from last season, right? You can really argue that, and I wouldn't even stop you. Alabama Sabres, I waste too much time watching them. Yeah, hey, until we fire Housley, it looks like it's going to stay this way, man. I mean, to me, and I talked about this early in the stream, to me it looks like the Sabres, and there's an icing by Blackhawks, so there will be a face-off again in the Blackhawks zone. To me, it looks like at some point in the season, the Sabres were just happy not to be in last place, right? Hey, we're not the worst team in the league anymore. And they were content with that, and you can never be content in any professional sports league. You need to continue to strive to be better. And again, Phil Housley's specialty was supposed to be defense. Where are we struggling on defense? We have the star power on offense, Skinner, Eichel, Pominville. We have the power on offense to do it. As the Sabres getting some scoring chances here, Eichel behind the net, passes up front. Eichel gets the puck in front of the net, unable to punch it home. So still 0-0, 9 minutes to go in the first period. But again, do I think the Bills will go after Antonio Brown? So the thing about Antonio Brown is there are 3 mystery teams supposedly in the mix for Antonio Brown. We'll find out more tomorrow. From what we understand from Adam Schefter and some other NFL analysts, tomorrow is like the deadline where a lot of people think he's going to be traded tomorrow. I've heard rumors of the Patriots. I've heard rumors of the Jets, the Redskins. There's a lot of rumors going around right now as where AB will go. I heard, and this might be just because of where I live. I heard rumors of the Philadelphia Eagles. So it'll be very interesting to see as the Blackhawks take a shot wide of the net where he's going to go. Hey, Tricks, enjoy Captain Marvel. Hope you have a good time. You will catch me next stream. Again, turn on your notifications if you haven't already. And yeah, we'll talk more about the Buffalo Bills, and we'll talk more Buffalo Bills draft when you're back. And we might be here when you get back, depending how late this game goes and how long the movie is. I'm not sure. But did I answer your questions before you go? Yeah, I didn't say who exactly we're taking in the NFL draft just because I'm not 100% sure yet. I can tell you a couple names who I like. We went over a couple names, but there's a lot of positions that need filled, so it's hard to say without watching what we do in free agency. If I had my way, probably would be Ed Oliver from Houston. So, but that's currently who I'm thinking. 567, you say you have a sleeper team, Indianapolis Colts. Yeah, I don't think the Bills are interested. I haven't heard a lot about the Buffalo Bills being interested in Antonio Brown. I heard the Jets were out, and I actually spoke with Jets Central on Twitter. I told him, I was like, so Jets are out, what you think? And he was okay with it. But I was like, I didn't want him for the Buffalo Bills. And again, I'm still not going to be terribly upset. I'm still not going to be terribly upset if we get him. But I'm not a huge Antonio Brown fan. As far as getting him. But yeah, the last thing I want to do is face him twice a year, right? Like, I don't want to see him on the Jets. I don't want to see him on the Dolphins. I don't want to see him with the Patriots, which have been rumored. Why Jets? Because they have the money. They have the money. The Jets have the second most money in cap space, only trailing the team that you just mentioned, the Indianapolis Colts. So the Indianapolis Colts are definitely a sleeper. I've heard Packers rumors too, and Saints rumors. So a lot of rumors going on. Great save by the Buffalo Sabres, and they clear the puck down the net. So 7 minutes to go in the first period, still 0-0. But yeah, there's been a lot of rumors. And again, a lot of this is smoke screen. So I want to talk to you guys about this too, right? I'd go on a little bit of a rant, so you'll have to excuse me. Fact 7, I sometimes go on these rants, right? So, we go into the NFL Combine, and all of these pro analysts are reminding us, hey guys, careful of the smoke screens, right? Obviously, everything you hear, you have to take with some skepticism. And then all of a sudden, the Arizona Cardinals are being talked about taking Kyler Murray and trading Josh Rosen at the number 1 overall pick. Like, didn't you just tell us that things can be a smokescreen? And now everyone's so committed, like, oh, Arizona's trading Josh Rosen. Oh, Kyler Murray, because he's 5'10" and not 5'9" and 7/8. Because he has an extra 2/8 on people that they thought. Really? I'm not even talking about the report that came out today about his leadership. I don't buy that for a second. I don't buy that. I don't think it's a racial thing either, like some people like Stephen A. Smith have said. But you just told us at the NFL Combine, right before the NFL Combine, you said, oh, watch out for the smoke screens. This free agency time, draft time, there's these smoke screens, right? And you're not sure what to believe. But then all of a sudden, someone says something about the Arizona Cardinals trading Josh Rosen and going after Kyler Murray, and everyone believes it. Everyone's like, oh, wait a second. That makes complete sense. Guys, there was a report right before the Combine that said Josh Rosen, if he came out this year instead of last year, would be the number 1 overall pick. No doubt about it. The Arizona Cardinals have so many more needs than they do quarterback. So many more needs. And you're going to sit here and tell me that they're gonna waste it all away, get another quarterback, and just let him get destroyed. Really? Now, I'm not saying Kyler Murray's not going to be the number 1 overall pick. He might be. Arizona might be playing the cards perfectly, saying how great they think Kyler Murray is, and it's going to be impossible to get rid of him from that number 1 overall pick. And let's be honest, guys, if the Cardinals want him, they can get him. They're the only team right now that can get whoever they want. Whoever they want. Still 0-0, 5 minutes and 25 seconds to go in the first period. Blackhawks on another power play. Second power play of the period for the Chicago Blackhawks, and they have the puck in the Sabres zone. Shot and goal is just saved. But either you believe that things are a smokescreen, like last year when they said Sam Darnold's going to be the number one overall pick. Everyone believed that, right? Everyone believed Sam Darnold going into draft day. Up until draft day, we didn't hear anything about Baker Mayfield being the number one overall pick. It was that morning that we heard, wait a second, it might be this Baker Mayfield guy. So, and you can go back for years about, this guy is the for sure number one pick. People don't remember this. In 1998, most people believed, up until like a week before the draft, that Peyton Manning was going to be the second overall pick behind Ryan Leaf. How would have that been? 13 seconds left on power play, 4:30 to go in the first period, still 0-0 Sabres, Blackhawks. But either tell us that it's all smokescreen and then, report what you've heard, but remind us, hey, this could be a smokescreen, or fall for your own crap and stop warning us that things are a smokescreen. We can make up our minds for ourselves. I've seen plenty of YouTubers out there. I've watched their stuff where they believe that the Arizona Cardinals are going to take Kyler Murray with the first overall pick. And I'm not saying that they won't. What I'm sitting here saying is it might be a smokescreen. Be ready for a smokescreen. Be ready for a potential trade with the number one overall pick. Or be ready for Nick Bosa to be the number one overall pick. Which, surprisingly to me, he isn't anymore. Like, on mock drafts, he's just not. And I just don't understand that either. Icing on the Sabres. The puck with 4:06 to go will come back into the Sabres zone, but the power play has been killed, so the Blackhawks 0 for 2 on the power play. Sabres yet to have a power play in this game. Bills, do you think any free agents will sign with us? If so, who? Absolutely. Because we have the money for it, right? Still sitting at like 70 mil in cap space, guys. I have the whole free agency list. I have the top. NFL.com released their top. Blackhawks just scored. Yes, there might be a question as to whether there's a goal in that. It might be reviewed. As Hutton is already pointing up to the booth, asking them to review it. So there might be a review here. 3:59 to go in the first period. At this time, it looks like the Blackhawks have scored. But again, looks like there may be a review coming. Maybe for interference. The puck was definitely in the back of the net. So maybe we'll get interference looked at. But I think that's a good goal by the Chicago Blackhawks. So Blackhawks lead with 4 minutes to go. 1-2-0. Again, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. So, what will the Bills draft at the number 9 position? Do we go DJ Metcalf? Fox A7. I'll get back to DJ Metcalf in a second. I did go on a little rant about him before you made it in here, so we'll talk about him a little bit more again. But let's talk about some of these free agents first, okay? I do believe absolutely that due to money situations that some of these free agents will sign with the Buffalo Bills come March 13th. And I've heard rumors. Again, they're all just rumors. You can't always believe rumors. Blackhawks are moving the puck back into the Sabres zone. Get a shot and goal. Shot is saved and held on to there by Hutton. So it's still 1-0. 3:23 to go. Chicago up. Heard rumors of Tevin Coleman being someone to look at. Running back, used to be of Atlanta. Free agent now. As someone to look at in free agency. The Buffalo Bills are looking at him. And to be honest, guys, I would love to pick up the 26-year-old running back previously of the Atlanta Falcons. So that's someone to look out for when it comes to free agent names. You look at the wide receiver list. To be honest, I won't be surprised if we still pick up a wide receiver in the draft and picked one up at the free agency. I'm a huge fan of Adam Humphries. Not sure why. Adam Humphries fits the mold of a lot of wide receivers we already have on our roster. But I'm just a huge fan of him. Used to be in Tampa Bay. Always seemed to pull in those tough third down catches. So I like him a lot. Look at the offensive line, guys. We need to do something in free agency with the offensive line. Look at the tackles available. Not too many tackles available, but all of them pretty good. Trent Brown, DJ Fluker, Juwan James, Donovan Smith, Darrell Williams. I'm looking at Juwan James or Darrell Williams. James ranked 31st in NFL's top 101 NFL free agents. So I'm looking at him as a possible prospect. And then Darrell Williams, 18th as far as on the top 101 NFL.com rankings. So looking at him. Guards and centers, again, not too many available, but there are some good names out there. James Carpenter, Raymond Foster, Mitch Morse, Matt Paradis, which a lot of you have said you liked Matt Paradis at center, used to be of the Denver Broncos. Roger Saffold, Quentin Spain, and J.R. Sweezy all sitting there in free agency, becoming available. I look at Mitch Morse, a guy who was injured most of last year for Kansas City. Very underrated, if you ask me, as far as the center position goes. And then, of course, Matt Paradis. You have to throw him in there. A lot of rumors of Matt Paradis coming to Buffalo, potentially. And again, we have the money. We have, I think we're currently 4th as far as cap space now that we've re-signed some players. Re-signed some players. Up on the Sabres 1-0. In the first period, not the game. Wouldn't be surprised if we did not go defensive lineman here. Maybe went defensive lineman later in the NFL draft. But we have Henry Anderson, Malcolm Brown, Jonathan Hankins, Corey Lugitt. Some good names out. Darius Philon, Sheldon Richardson, Ndamukong Suh, and Muhammad Wilkerson, just to name a few. Obviously, some good names out there. Wouldn't mind. We do have some young, like Harrison Phillips types, and we did lose veteran leadership with got a little bit of a breakaway here. Shot on goal is saved by Crawford. So good shot, good attempt, scoring chance for the Sabres. Just unable to capitalize. Now 3-on-2 for Chicago, unable to get a shot on net. So we did just have a scoring chance. Still 1-0, 2:25 to go in the first period. Edge defenders, you got Ezekiel Ansah, Saquon Barrett, Trey Flowers, Dante Fowler Jr. Again, some good names out there at the defensive line position. Some edge rushers as well. Not too many linebackers out there, but guys, we're not in need of linebackers. Luckily for us, is one of the positions that we don't need. Able to have every linebacker on our roster that was on our roster last year came back. So that's good news. Looking at cornerbacks in the free agent market, you got Rashad Breeland, Bryce Callahan, Maurice Claiborne, Justin Coleman, Ronald Darby, right? Let's talk about Ronald Darby for a second. Used to be a Buffalo Bill, traded with the Eagles back when we made the breakaway for the Blackhawks here. Blackhawks score. So Blackhawks with 1:34 to go now go up 2-0. A breakaway goal for the Blackhawks. And with 1:34 to go in the first period, Blackhawks up on the Sabres 2-0. And they some off with the goal on the Buffalo Sabres. So 2-0 Sabres. Again, our defense lets up another goal on the breakaway. I don't know. Yeah, the defense just not backing up. I don't understand that. Just not getting in the defensive zone fast enough. And it just looked like it was a quick 1-2 pass for the Blackhawks. Great passing. I'll give them that. Great passing by the Blackhawks. But why are the defenders not backing up when the Blackhawks originally get the puck? It just doesn't make sense to me. Just doesn't make sense to me. Thanks, Fox 87. I'll try to get that fixed real quick. Let me know, guys, if it's still giving you a problem. I seem to be okay here now, so let me know if that's a problem there. But we're talking about cornerbacks. Went through Callahan, Claiborne, Coleman, Darby, Denard. EJ Gaines is out there again. We had EJ Gaines this past season. I don't think he's someone the Bills would target again. Brent Grimes is out there. Kareem Jackson, that's the name I have highlighted. I really like Kareem Jackson. Great slot guy, and that's something that you would need at the cornerback position. We need a good slot guy as the Sabres get ready to go on the power play with 1:30 to go in the first period. Already down 2-0. So we hope to maybe get one back here on the power play as he gets called. Number 64 of the Blackhawks gets called for a tripping penalty. And so the Sabres will go on the power play. 1:30 left in the period. Steven Nelson's available as well. But yeah, Kareem Jackson, great slot corner, someone we might need. A safety's not position need for the Buffalo Bills, so we'll skip over that for now. But those are some of the free agent names. Thoughts on CB and running back for the Bills? We need to get younger at the running back position. I looked. There was a tweet earlier this month. I don't remember when. By Roddick saying Right now the Bills have the two oldest running backs under contract going into this coming season, with Chris Ivory and LaShawn McCoy both being over 30 years old. So we obviously need to get younger at that position, whether it be a Tevin Coleman coming in here and getting us younger. Again, he's, I believe, 25, 26 years old, so that would get us younger. But then is the backfield too cluttered at that point is the question, right? Like, is that too much star power? Are there enough runs to go around at that point for McCoy and for Tevin Coleman? Now, are you interested in going young as the Sabres are on the power play for the next minute and 10 seconds and have the puck in the Blackhawk zone? But do you want to get younger and get someone in the draft who's willing to sit a year behind McCoy and only come in injury type situations and things like that? And then, because we all know, the past couple seasons, McCoy has had issues with injuries. So I would love to see us go younger still at running back and pick up a guy in the draft. There's a guy in the draft I love who is, you'll find that funny later, who I really think is being underrated in this draft. And I would really enjoy seeing us pick him up as a late round pick, because again, it looks like he might not go until round 4, day 3, round 4. And so that would be very interesting to see if he went at that time. But we will see. We will see what happens then. But yeah, we'll talk about that in a little bit. I would love to go in the draft for a running back. And then I would also love to go, in the first period, 2-0. I think it's in the first period. Yeah, in the first period, 2-0 Blackhawks. The Sabres will be on the power play to start the second period. But at this point, it looks like the Blackhawks are controlling this game, 2-0. Sabres got out to a quick flurry, got some good scoring chances, just unable to capitalize on any of them. And here we are. Here we sit, down 2-0. Where do I think Bell goes? Interesting question. I actually think Bell might end up in the NFC. I don't know. Maybe the Jets. The Jets haven't lost interest in Bell, but yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Bell goes to the NFC. Don't know. I'm not sure. I like to think of surprise teams like we did with Antonio Brown. I like to think of surprise teams, and be interesting, like maybe the Seattle Seahawks. I don't know what their cap space situation looks like, but it might be interesting to see them. Have I gone to a Bills game ever? JMG21. First of all, thank you for joining me on Believe It Struck Again. My name is Joe. If you are new, hit that subscribe button. Yeah, I really hope the Jets don't get either of them, let alone one of them. Or both of them, I mean. But I did, this past season, I went to the Buffalo Bills versus Jacksonville Jaguars game. It was my first game in Buffalo since I was, I'll say, 7 years old. So it was the first time in a long time. I have gone to a bunch of Bills games. I went to the Meadowlands probably 3 or 4 times to watch the Bills play the Jets there. I've gone to a Bills-Eagles game. I've gone to a Bills-Steelers game. So I've been to plenty of Bills games. But this past season, 2018, was my first time at New Era Field since it used to be called Rich Stadium. So it was quite a while for me. Really enjoyed it. I can't even speak to how much I enjoyed it. I did do some live streams while I was there. Hopefully, got the feel of the atmosphere for that game. It was a lot of fun. That was the game where Fournette got into that fight with. Who did he get into the fight with? I even forget who he got into the fight with. But, yeah, the fight broke out, so that was a lot of fun to be a part of that atmosphere there in Buffalo. So, yes, to answer your question, I've been to quite a few Bills games, only 2 in Buffalo. Look forward to going back. Already looking to get tickets to the Bills-Eagles game in Buffalo next season. Depending on when they play, obviously the schedule will come out. We'll be live for that. Those were fun streams. Thanks, Fox87. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. It was a fun game to be a part of. So, but we had a good time. So, but yeah, Fox87. I agree with you. I would hate for if it was Shaq Lawson. There you go. Thank you, Fox87. Yeah, Shaq Lawson, our other edge rusher who I was trying to think of earlier too when talking about Jerry Hughes. So, yeah, it was just a fun atmosphere to be a part of that. But going back to your question about Bell. The Jets can easily do it, right? The Jets have the money to do it. The Jets seem to be the favorite to get Bell I don't want to see it, so I'm going to hope not. I'm going to hope he goes to the Colts or to the Browns or to the Seahawks or to the Raiders or to anybody other than someone within our division. But again, you don't know what you're going to get from a 24, 25-year-old running back who has been out pretty much a whole year plus from the NFL. So you might go, hey, Fox AM, if you do, let me know, and we'll definitely hook up, man. If you do, listen, that would be great. I'll video you. You know, we'll co-op some live streams for that game. We'll have a good time. And if you're getting ready to buy tickets, let me know. Maybe we'll try to get close to each other as far as seats. That'd be a lot of fun. So, did you hear Brown might be gone as soon as tomorrow? Yes, I did hear that. We were talking a little bit earlier about who might be trading for Antonio Brown. We heard that there were 3 teams, secret teams. Shh, hush, hush, hush. Why be hush, hush at this point? I don't know. But we heard there might be 3 secret teams. I've heard rumors from the Patriots. I've heard rumors from the Saints, the Packers, the Raiders, the Eagles from being close to Philadelphia. Like, I've heard a lot of rumors. I hope it happens tomorrow just so it can be over with, to be honest with you. Like I told Jet Central when I talked to him, I don't want Antonio Brown necessarily, but I also don't want to play him twice a year. So I don't want him going to the Patriots. I don't want him going to the Jets. And I don't want him going to the Dolphins. He's just a great talent. Is he worth the drama off the field? That's debatable. But he's just a great talent. Yeah, let me know Fox 87. That'd be great. Okay, and Fox 87 brought this up earlier, so we'll talk about it a little bit more. We'll talk about DK Metcalf. Guys, it's easy to fall in love with DK Metcalf. It's easy to fall in love with his physical ability. But if you watch film on him from Ole Miss, again, we were talking about other potential draft picks. We're talking about draft potential that the Bills met with at the NFL Combine. I'm an A.J. Brown fan, wide receiver from Ole Miss. And if you look at the stats, he did better than DK Metcalf at Ole Miss. So, but again, there's a lot of things that go into that. You could argue DK Metcalf's being double teamed because he's that much of a physical freak. DK Metcalf got injured last season for a lot of the year, so he missed out on some games. But as far as the Bills getting DK Metcalf, first of all, I think a lot of people fell in love with DK Metcalf at the Combine. He had a great performance at the Combine. There's no denying that. And again, there's no denying that he's just a physical freak, right? He's just a big athlete. But to me, I wonder if he'll even be available at 9. We've seen in the past wide receivers go earlier than expected, right? You talk about John Ross. You talk about why can't I think of his name right now? Why can't I think Sammy Watkins, right? We trade up to get Sammy Watkins. That's so there's recent history that kind of bites us a little bit that makes me lean maybe not top 10 for wide receiver, but I could be wrong. And if DK Metcalf's in there at 9 and is available, it's going to be a tough sell not to get him, depending who else is on the board, right? But yeah, I think DK Metcalf is a great athlete. I'm not sure what that means as far as football player, though. Marquise Goodwin's a great athlete. How good, is he worth a number 9 overall pick? David Boston, an example I used earlier, was a great athlete. Was he worth the first round pick? I'd argue no. So, with that being said, again, if Metcalf is there at the 9 position, depending who else is on the board, it's going to be hard to look past him, right? But at the same time, if you look at his full body of work, his college career, and the Combine, and not just the Combine, you wonder if he's worth that number 9 overall pick. I'm not 100% sold. I know a lot of Bills fans are, so I know my opinion isn't as popular. And again, if we got him at number 9, I'm not sitting here saying that I would be unhappy about that. At number 9, I think that's a good draft pick. That's a solid place to start, and we do need wide receiver help. There's no doubt about it. So, is that a good pick? Yes, but don't think that our wide receiver core is set if we get DK Metcalf, right? A lot of people saying if we got Antonio Brown, we'd have one of the best wide receiving cores in the NFL. And that's what Antonio Brown does to any team he goes to. He automatically makes you one of the best wide receiving groups in the NFL. The moment he touches the field with the uniform on. We're not there if we get DK Metcalf. And to be honest, if we get DK Metcalf, I still won't be surprised if we pick up one of those wide receiver free agents I was talking about earlier. But I also think, there was that wide receiver from Stanford. What was his name? JJ. I'll think of it. I know it's here somewhere. It's like a hyphenated name. So give me a second. And I'll talk more about Stanford too during this game. First intermission between the Sabres and the Blackhawks. Blackhawks up 2-0 on the Buffalo Sabres. I know it's here somewhere. But anyway, we'll get back to that. So, we want to talk about more of these guys that the Buffalo Bills interviewed during the NFL Combine. Again, it gives you a little sneak peek of who they're interested in. We stopped at Bobby Evans. This is an alphabetical order, guys, so stop me if there's a name that you like. The next name on the list is Rashawn Gary, defensive end from Michigan. I'm very interested in this guy. I haven't heard before the NFL Combine. He had a great combine, but before the NFL Combine, I did not do much research on him. So I'll be doing a little bit more research on Rashawn Gary. I know he's going to be a top 15 pick in the NFL draft, so is he going to be worth the number 9 pick for the Buffalo Bills if that's what's available? I'll look into that a little more. Kevin Givens, defensive tackle from Penn State. We talked to him at the NFL Combine. Kelvin Harmon, another wide receiver from NC State. Talk to him. Alec Ingold, fullback, Wisconsin. Guys, I am a huge fan of our current fullback, Patrick DeMarco. Huge fan, but he is getting a little older. Okay, and I think he's really good, but we do need to think fullback. Get a little bit younger at fullback. I know the fullback for most teams is a position that's not used all that much, but for a team like Buffalo, we're always going to be a team that runs the ball. Come December, come late November in Buffalo, we're going to be a team that runs the ball consistently. So we need to be able to run the ball. It helps to have a fullback. O-line protection of Josh. If Josh, and you can say about most teams if their first string gets hurt, right? I wouldn't be surprised if we get a lot of O-linemen during the free agent period. We want to have some free agents at O-line. If we get Paradis at center, then boom, position E gone, right? Because we not only do we have our starting center with Paradis, we have our backup as well with Groy or whoever else we re-sign. Reed Ferguson, whoever it was who was center as well. I'm trying to think who we re-signed at the offensive line position who also played center. We did a live stream on it too. But anyway, you get my point. Matt Paradis, we signed him, boom, center position taken care of. You look at some of these other free agents that are available at the tackle position, and all of a sudden you're thinking, we get Juwan James at left tackle, and then we say we're okay with right tackle. Whether you agree with that or not, we say that, and then boom, tackle position gone. Boom, I'm like Emma, boom, and then you look at so it's just it depends what we do in free agency. Depends, you look at some of the guards. You look at Roger Saffold, Quentin Spain. Some of these guys. Maybe that's what we're planning to do with our offensive line. Just kind of put a makeshift offensive line together. Get 5 guys, 4 guys and Deion Dawkins together, and say, okay, let's see what we can do here. And then all of a sudden we don't need to focus on offensive line in the draft. Not saying we don't get younger at offensive line anyway, but still not a main concern at that point for the Buffalo Bills. We can look other places for other positions of need. So going down this list, I talked about Kevin Holman, talked about Alec Ingold, fullback. We go to my favorite running back of this draft. I know he's not one of the top guys. I don't know why he's not one of the top guys, but we talk about Bryce Love, running back from Stanford. Guys, you have to remember 2017, Bryce Love was considered one of the best players in college football. Not one of the best running backs, one of the best players in college football. Sorry, guys, I got a text. I'll continue to talk about my boy Love in a second, Bryce Love in a second, but I did get a text I need to get back to real quick. And you all know that I cannot text and talk at the same time. It's a thing. I don't know. But I apologize for that. But now I'm back. But I really love what Bryce Love did in Stanford. Again, before he got injured, before he tore his ACL, he was a candidate for the Heisman. And it's not. You look at some of the runbacks who've done it in the recent past, right? You look at Derrick Henry. You look at Marvin Ingram. Well, what's the similarity between those two players? They both played for Alabama. This guy didn't play for Alabama. This guy played for Stanford, who is known, who has produced decent running backs in the past. So he didn't have every single 5-star recruit blocking for him. He didn't have 5-star recruits, wide receivers on the outside that defenses had to be ready for. He didn't have a 5-star quarterback throwing the ball all the time that defenses had to be aware of. He just didn't. Not saying that Stanford's a bad team by any stretch of the imagination. Stanford's a really good team, but they're not Alabama. So I love Bryce Love, running back at Stanford. Again, this is a guy that you could pick up late day 2, early day 3, and he definitely brings youth to your running back core, and I would love that pick. I really would, even if we got him early. Let's say we get somehow we get a late second round pick, and we pick him up, and people are like, oh, that's way too early for Bryce Love. I'm gonna love it. I'm gonna be on here because again, guys, if you don't know, we're going live for the NFL draft, so join me for the NFL draft as we were live for day 1 and day 2. But I'm gonna just enjoy the heck out of that, and to everyone who says, oh, we got him too early, oh, it's a terrible pick, I'm just gonna say thank you, I'll take it. So we talked to Bryce Love. Caleb McGarry, offensive tackle from Washington. Got to do a little more research on him as well. Have seen some mocks with us taking him. So we will look into to Caleb McGarry. Isaac Nada, tight end, Georgia. Guys, the Sabres Blackhawks game still in first intermission. Blackhawks up on the Sabres 2-0. Is Isaac Nada, tight end from Georgia. Again, we do need to address the tight end position. Whether we want it to be Hawkinson in the first round or whether we want it to be later on, that's when we have to look at someone like Isaac Nada. Yash Neiman, guard from Virginia Tech. Again, we know about the offensive line. And next is a guy that a lot of mock drafts project us to draft, and that's going to be Ed Oliver from Houston, defensive tackle. A lot of mock drafts have us going Ed Oliver at that 9 spot. I've done a few mock drafts, and it's depending, obviously, on the first 8 picks, it's hard to go against Ed Oliver. I don't think that's a bad pick at that spot. That's a safe pick. And it all depends how Coach McDermott and Brandon Beane are feeling at the time. Do they want to play it safe, or do they want to go for the risky pick, maybe the DK Metcalf type pick at number 9, more of a splash pick? A lot of Buffalo fans would be a little more happy with a pick like that. I'd be happy with the Ed Oliver pick at defensive tackle. Again, defensive tackle with the loss of Kyle Williams. You can never replace the leadership of a Kyle Williams. By the way, Kyle Williams, great job announcing when he was doing defensive tackles at the NFL Combine. I'll say that real quick for you as well. I don't know if you guys listened to the NFL Combine, watched it on the NFL Network. Kyle Williams did a great job with that announcing. So really pleased to see that. Really happy to see him doing well. And hope maybe his next career, right? Maybe his next career is going to, who do we get O-line? Do we get them at free agency or draft? I think it's a mixture of both. Right? I mean, you look at the 2 best centers out there. You talk about Paradis. Give me a second. The other guy I just talked about. Yeah, you talk about Paradis and you talk about Mitch Morse. Pick up one of them guys. We're already set at center, and then you can look at another guard or tackle during free agency. I won't be surprised if we did like a 2-and-2 thing, right? We pick up 2 or 3 free agents, then we pick up 2 or 3 more in the draft. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. We're going to go with that. 2 or 3 offensive linemen in free agency, and then 2 or 3 offensive linemen in the draft. And depending who we get in free agency, that depends how quickly we get offensive linemen in the NFL draft. Right? I mean that's just obvious. I think that goes without saying. You have Williams. I would love Williams to stick with the Buffalo franchise for the rest of his life. He becomes Rick Jenneret, and then is announcing Bills games until he's 80 years old. Even I, who I go live for a play-by-play and reaction, as you guys know. Like, I'd be like, don't listen to me, listen to Kyle Williams, because I'll be listening to Kyle Williams. You'll just have a video. I'll say I'll do live play-by-play and reaction, and I'll just sit here and I won't be saying nothing. Just listening to Kyle Williams, maybe up loud enough so you guys can hear it too. But that's my man crush on Kyle Williams. You all know about my man crush on Kyle Williams. I'm not the only one. So we're getting ready for the face-off to start the second period. Sabres down 2-0. Sabres, Jack Eichel wins the face-off back into the Sabres zone. So we still have 20 seconds left on the power play, down 2-0 here. So hopefully we can get get into the Blackhawk zone quickly and get set up on the power play. That's exactly what we're doing right now. Puck goes behind the net, back out to the left, blue line, to the right, back to the left. Passes to Eichel, passes in the front of the net, gets by, and then out of the zone. So no score on the power play. Power play is over. Penalty killed by the Blackhawks. Pass down ice to Eichel, though. Eichel open, shoots it, and it's saved by Crawford and held on to there. So good see by the goalie to find Hutton to find Eichel, and Eichel gets a scoring chance saved by Crawford. So we start the second period. Sabres down 2-0. What's my thoughts on Tyree Jackson and Anthony Johnson? Where do they go? Tyree Jackson had a wonderful combine. Wonderful combine. If you are a Tyree Jackson fan, if you're a University of Buffalo Bulls fan, you enjoyed watching Tyree Jackson's combine. The opposite can be said about Anthony Johnson. Not the greatest combine, not the greatest Senior Bowl. So Anthony Johnson slipping a little bit. But Tyree Jackson going the other way. Tyree Jackson had a really good Senior Bowl, and then you look at what he did at the combine, showing off his arm, pretty much either first or second in every single category as far as the skilled drills go for the quarterbacks. He just had a great combine. I think Tyree Jackson, blah, 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 blah. Tyree Jackson can hear his name as early as the 4th round. Like, that's how good I think Tyree Jackson has helped his stock. As far as Anthony Johnson, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't hear Anthony Johnson's name till about the 5th or 6th round. I think Anthony Johnson right now is probably the somewhere between the 18th and 22nd best wide receiver out there right now. Again, I have to check my position sheets to see where I have him exactly. But I think right now, currently, I have him somewhere between 18 and 22nd, which means he'll still get drafted. He'll still get a shot somewhere. And maybe he'll get a shot with Buffalo. Maybe that's one of those late, wide receivers, one of those late position needs that we get. And he's available and we pick him up. That's very possible. I'm not saying it's not possible. And I'm not even saying I wouldn't be happy about that. But Anthony Johnson has not done much to help his stock recently as far as the NFL draft is concerned. But Tyree Jackson has looked really good. And I wouldn't be surprised if a team like Miami or like Washington or one of those teams, Denver, maybe picks him up 3rd, 4th round as a project, someone to work on while they have the time, they have that gap. You have the stopgap with Flacco in Denver. You have the stopgap with Tannehill still in Miami, even though rumors have it that he's gone. And then with the trade today in Washington, you have the stopgap with Keenum in Washington. So I wouldn't be surprised if they went that route. But our luck, he'll be great in the next level. But the Patriots will be the ones who drafted him, and after Tom Brady retires, he beats Buffalo forever. And Buffalo just finishes in 2nd, 3rd, or 4th place in the AFC East for the rest of their lives. Saved by the Sabres, and there's going to be a face-off, 17-11 to go. Blackhawks still up on the Sabres, 2-0. Sabres did get some chances on the power play. Again, Eichel had an open shot on net and was unable to bring it home. Hutton with a nice save. And held on to the puck to force the face-off. So 2-0 Chicago, 17-11 to go in the second period. I'm running out of water, so I might need to take a water break soon. But yeah, so those are my thoughts on the two Buffalo University guys. And while we're talking about Buffalo guys, don't forget March Madness, not that far away. The MAC championship, the Buffalo Bulls men's basketball team just won the regular season MAC championship. Now you need to prove it at tournament time, right? You need to win the MAC championship, get that automatic bid. And the ladies, that might be the only way the ladies get into March Madness. Sarah Dillard doing a great job this season. Sabres score. Okay, goal by the Buffalo Sabres. Make it 2-1. Saboka with the goal, it looks like, assisted by Jack Eichel. So now, with 16:44 to go in the second period, the Buffalo Sabres cut into the lead, making it 2-1. I'm going to watch this replay real quick. Pass was back to Eichel at the point, who passed it across ice. Passed it across ice and then was passed back to the point. I'm trying to get the name of who was passed to at the point. And then Crawford made the save, but Shiboko was right up front to tap it in from there into the open net, basically. So 2-1. Buffalo Sabres now down by 1 goal. So let's go Buffalo. Again, I know that this season has been disappointing for many. And it's been disappointing for me too, but you need to finish strong. You need to finish strong. I think no matter how we finish, the coach needs to be looked at as far as being a good fit for the Sabres, Housley. But yeah, we need to finish strong here. 16:15 to go in the first period. 2-1, Blackhawks over the Buffalo Sabres. So, what were we talking about? Yes, yeah. Again, DK, a top 10 wide receiver, 100%. But has he proven that? Has he proven that? Like, what did he do in the receiving drills at the NFL Combine that said, oh, yeah, we need to get that guy? You know, he had a great 40 time. He's 1.6% body fat. Like, yes, I get all of that, and it's all impressive. But let's not get caught up in the fancy lights, guys. Let's not get starstruck, okay? We want the best player at 9. And if that's DK Metcalf, great. Sabres score again, real quick, just like that. And it's 2-2. Just like that. 2 quick goals, 15:21 to go in the second period. And the Sabres have tied this game up at 2. Again, I'm going to watch the replay real quick, see who it was. I don't want to say the wrong name here, guys. I'm going to make sure I got this right. Yeah, it was the newest member of the Buffalo Sabres. It was Brandon Montour who scores the goal, making it 2-2 with 15:13 to go. So in less than 5 minutes, we went from down 2-0 to start the second period to now a tie game. So we'll see what happens. 2 quick goals by the Sabres. Ties this one up again. You want to finish strong if you're the Sabres. Yeah, Montour, hey, maybe that trade will start something good. Maybe if it's not this season. We talked about that when the trade happened. You know, it might be too late this season, but we'll see what happens next season as Montour still does have a year left on his contract after this year. So we'll see what happens. Looks like there is going to be a penalty on the Sabres. So it looks like the Blackhawks will go back on the power play by the guy who just scored the goal. Montour gets the penalty. Looks like it's going to be a cross-check. I don't know what they call it anymore. I know back in the day they called it cross-check. I don't know if they still do that. If they still call it cross-checking or not. Bam! Chicago will go on the third power play of the day. Sabres are 0 for 1 on the power play. Blackhawks 0 for 2. So, but what are we talking about? We're talking about DK Metcalf, right? DK Metcalf, great physical specimen. Is he worth the number 9 overall pick? Again, if he's available at 9, and again, I'm not sure he's going to be available at 9, guys. We have seen wide receivers go early before in drafts, right? Earlier than people have projected. If he's still available at 9, you have to look his way. You have to look his way. Tripping. They call him tripping. I don't know how they're calling tripping, but they call tripping, so that's what you do. But if he's available at 9, you have to look his way, right? You have to at least give him a look. If not, then we don't have to worry about it. We don't have to worry about it. However, if the Bills are going to trade up, I could see it being for DK Metcalf, making that mistake again. I hope they don't. But if they trade up, I can very easily see it being the same thing as the Sammy Watkins thing, where you have so many wide receivers you can choose from. You have A.J. Brown, you have Marquise Brown, you have Kelvin Harmon, you have all these guys you can pick up later. And what do? You trade up, you give away more draft capital probably, and get a wide receiver. If that happens, I will be very disappointed with the Buffalo Bills, but we'll see what happens come draft day. Currently, I just commented to someone who asked the question, what do I see the Bills doing? I think the Bills have about a 7.5% chance of trading up to pick up a player in the draft. You never want to say it's impossible, as the Blackhawks were controlling the puck in the zone, just unable to get a goal, as they got a few scoring chances. Now the Sabres have the puck. And they score shorthanded goal by the Buffalo Sabres, and it's now 3-2. So we started the period down 2-0, and Bogus, it was Saboka again with his second goal. With 13:15 to go in the second period, the Sabres now up 3-2. So quick turn of events. Trying to see who that they say it was Saboka at first, but now that I look at it. Yeah, Saboka might not touch that puck, so that is going to be a goal by number 4. So, Fox 87, who's number 4 for the Sabres? You tell me. I'm looking it up. Zach Bogosian scores the goal to make it 3-2 Buffalo. 25 seconds left to go on the Blackhawks power play. But, man, the Sabres in the last 7 minutes, 13 minutes to go in the second period, have scored 3 goals and now up 3-2. So, quick change of events for the Sabres have them up 3-2 with 10 seconds to go on the Blackhawks power play. So, but you have a lot of wide receivers in this draft, right? Bogo scores. That's right. You have a lot of wide receivers in this draft, and I know, again, DK Metcalf is looked at as potentially the best wide receiver in this draft. I mean, absolutely the best wide receiver in this draft, right, at this point. But when you have limited offensive talent as far as offensive line, like offensive tackles, offensive guards, and those are positions of need as well, maybe that's where you look. Now, who's going to be available at 9? Again, it all depends on who's going to be available at 9, and I get that. Everyone should understand that, right? Come the NFL draft. Once again, guys, think of Joe, I believe talking. My name is Joe. If you haven't already hit that subscribe button, be sure to do the show. Be sure to do so, and we will be live for the NFL draft. And one of the things I plan to have available, like maybe behind me on a whiteboard, I'm not sure I'm going to do this. I'm going to have my top 9 guys, my top 9, and it's going to be for the Buffalo Bills, right? It's going to be a Buffalo Bills top 9, and the reason why I'm going to do that is because we have the 9th pick. So I'm going to cross off names as they're selected before the 9th pick, and whoever's top on that list, that's who I'm going to want. Whether it be Ed Oliver, whether it be DJ Metcalf, whether it be Juwan Taylor, whoever it is, like I'm going to have the top 9, and I'm going to start crossing them off as they're selected. Not the top 9 overall. Like Kyler Murray's not going to be on my list. You know why? Because the Buffalo Bills have no reason to look at Kyler Murray. If Kyler Murray is available at 9, look to trade, right? I mean, obviously. But we have no reason to look for a quarterback. So I'm going to have my top 9 guys, and I'll start cross off names, and you'll see the 9 guys I want. DK Metcalf will probably be on that list. Now, he might be lower on that list. He might be 7, 8, or 9. But he'll probably be on that list. But all depends who's available at that 9th spot. And if only 1 or 2 are available at that 9th spot and we want to trade back, I'm good with that. I think Brandon Beane and I share the same philosophy about draft picks. Like, if you can get draft picks, get them. Get them. They're gold, you know? What do most people say about the draft? It's a crapshoot, right? Well, when you're shooting craps, don't you want as many chances as you can? You have two in the first 2 rounds. You have 4 draft picks. You hit craps 2 times, but you hit gold the other 2 times. Isn't that something you want? Right? You don't know what you're getting in the NFL draft, and so if you have as many options as you can. Obviously, the higher up you draft, the more likely you are to get a good player, but there's no science to it. It's not like, the 1 seeds, the number 1 overall picks always work out. Tim Couch, okay? every Cleveland Brown #1 overall pick. Okay? Except for Baker Mayfield, apparently. But still, every single Cleveland Brown #1 overall pick. Like, just prove me right, right? So, there's no science to it. It's not like, oh, the #1 pick automatically succeeds because he's the #1 overall pick. Or the #2 pick automatically succeeds. Ryan Leaf. Okay, the higher up in the draft you go, the bigger the busts get as well. The bigger the talent can get, but the bigger the busts get as well, right? So, like, if you have 4 second-round draft picks and 2 pan out to be pretty good players and 2 turn out to be maybe what you would call a bust, well, wouldn't you consider that a win? You don't have to. The second round guys, you only have 4 seasons, right? So then after that, you have them cheap for 4 years, and then you say, all right, take care. It was nice having you around. Good to take that chance. But yeah, depending where we get 9, if we trade down, I'm always okay with that, depending who is available on that board. And even if DK Metcalf's available, and someone's going to trade up to get DK Metcalf, and it looks enticing to the Buffalo Bills, I say go for it. Absolutely go for it. So, some other names of people we interviewed during the NFL Combine that I did not mention on that first list of names. Dalton Risner, offensive tackle, Kansas State. I did see some mock drafts having us take Risner. Talking 6'5", 312 pounds, running a 5.340 time. Pretty good for a guy of that size. And I mean, again, Dalton Risner might be another guy who's my top 9 of who I would want when the Bills pick. DK Metcalf, of course, is on this list. DK Metcalf, wide receiver, 6'3", 228, 4.3340. Oh my goodness. Vertical, 40.5. Bench reps, 27. Broad jump, 134. 3-cone, 7.38. Shuttle, 4.5. Good thing we had on that one because that 3-cone could use some help. But yeah, I look down here and it just says, first line, DK Metcalf has suddenly become the dream scenario at the 9 pick for the Buffalo Bills fans who were wowed at the NFL Combine. Guys, let's not fall in love with the bling just because it's shiny and bright. Watch his tape. And again, don't watch highlights. Do you know why? Because they're highlights. That's why they're called highlights, guys, because they're going to show them as best. And there's a lot of good highlights with DK Metcalf, okay? But watch some tape. Watch some games. Watch some games the whole way through and watch what he does. Juwan Taylor, yes. Noah Fant, again, a guy I'm really falling in love with is Noah Fant. Would not get him with the number 9 overall pick. But if we were to get Noah Fant, we would probably trade back in the first round, maybe early 20s, and pick him up there. But a huge fan of Noah Fant. Paris Campbell, wide receiver, Ohio State, 6 foot, 205 pounds, 4.31 40 time. He might be a second to maybe even a day 3 type guy. But you definitely want to interview those guys as well. Again, we heard at the NFL Combine Coach McDermott say, it's about character, and I love that. I really do love that. There should be some character behind these guys, right? You don't want these guys to be dull, but you also don't want these guys to be guys who, right? Antonio Brown you. That's gonna be a new term. I just made it up. I just made it into a noun, so I'm gonna use that. If Fox 7 has thoughts on UB Bulls men and women's teams. Again, we talked about that a little bit earlier, guys. The UB men's team clinches the regular season MAC championship. Very excited for them. Congratulations, CJ Massenberg and company. Well deserved. Great season. We need to finish strong, though. We have one more game left. You need to finish strong. 9:21 to go in the second period. Sabres still hold a 3-2 lead. Hutton with a couple nice saves in a row holds on to the puck, so there will be a face-off in the Sabres zone. But currently 3-2 Sabres, 9:21 to go in the second period. But CJ Massenberg, great season. Buffalo Bulls men's team, great season. But you want to talk about a great season, go over to that women's side. Now, I know they're not winning the MAC yet. But you look at what they've done. After winning the MAC last year, going to the Sweet 16 last year, it's just really impressive what they've done. Sierra Dillard, just underrated. Gonna be, I looked at mock drafts and she's projected to go in the second round of the WNBA. And I know a lot of you, just like me, probably don't watch the WNBA, but she might give me a reason to watch a game or two, or just see how she does throughout her career. Really, no, Vox says no. I don't think so. But maybe they've tricked me all this time. But yeah, I haven't seen Myth on here, so maybe he is. Maybe he's two personas. But I appreciate both of them coming on here. So again, thank you for joining me on Believers Talk. Again, my name is Joe. If you haven't already hit that subscribe button, guys, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We're live for the Buffalo Sabres Chicago Blackhawks game. Buffalo down 2-0 to start the second period. Storms back strong in the first 7 minutes. Scores 3 goals. Now up 3-2 with 9.5 to go in the second period. So again, thank you for joining me. If you're new, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. We go live for all Buffalo Bills games. So of course it's not football season, or so you think, but the NFL free agent period is starting March 13th, and we'll be live to give you coverage of the NFL free agent period when we sign players. I'm believing the Bills are going to sign players. They're going to sign players. We'll either be live or we'll be posting videos. I'll be posting videos giving you my reaction to the signings, some statistics from whoever we sign, and what to expect from them in 2019 for the Buffalo Bills, and what this does for the team overall. We know we're going to look at the offensive line a lot. Look at the offensive line. Another held puck by Hutton, and still 3-2, 9:16 to go in the second period. We know we're going to look at offensive line. We know we're going to look at some wide receivers. Who are we going to pick up is the question. Another guy who we interviewed at the NFL Combine, who I didn't mention, who might be someone to look at center instead of looking at center in free agency, Garrett Bradbury, center, NC State, 6'3", 306 pounds, ran a 4.9240, guys. For a guy who's 306 pounds to get the motor running, to run at 4.9240, really impressive if you ask me. He really had a good showing at the NFL Combine. Would really like to see what he could do at the next level. And we're going to see what he does at the next level, but will we see it for the Buffalo Bills, or will he go somewhere else? Yadni Kajust, tackle from West Virginia, 6'5", 312 pounds, did not run the 40. He did do bench reps, had 32 bench reps. So we'll see where he goes. Again, we talk about TJ Hawkinson. Big fan of TJ Hawkinson, the best tight end in this draft. I do like Noah Fant more for where we can get him, but I do like TJ Hawkinson. Just don't know if he's worth a top 10 draft pick or not. 8:45 to go in the second period. Sabres still up 3-2. Sabres have the puck in the Blackhawks zone. They just gave the puck back over to the Blackhawks, and the Blackhawks moving to center ice. So that's where they're there. Jonah Williams, again, a great player. I don't think he'll be available at 9, 6'4", 302 pounds, ran 5.1240. Offensive lineman for Alabama. Not sure he'll be available at number 9. I've seen him go as in the top 5 in most mock drafts, but worth taking a look at. Maybe that 7.5% chance I say we have moving up in the draft, it would be to get a guy like Jonah Williams. You go to Cody Ford, offensive tackle from Oklahoma. Cody Ford did not have a great combine. I want to see what he does at his pro day. But again, as I said in my first combine video, and guys, if you haven't checked them out, I did recap both days 1 and 2, and then another video days 3 and 4 of the NFL Combine. Go check those out after the stream here, or tomorrow after you wake up, because the stream's going to go pretty late. That's why I understand that. But Cody Ford did not have a great combine. 5.2140, 28.5 vertical, only 19 bench reps, 104 broad jump, 3 cone drill is over 8 seconds. That's not good. And then you have the shuttle at 4.87. So not a great combine for him. But if you look at his overall, line of work, his whole collegiate career, Sabres on the power play, by the way. Minute 30 to go on the power play. 7:50 to go in the second period. Sabres have the puck at center ice, backing up a little bit to get their power play a chance to get going. Change the lines real quick. Jack Eichel is on the ice as the Sabres get the puck into the Blackhawks zone. Blackhawks quickly get it back to center ice. So I'll keep an eye on that. 1:10 to go on the power play. As again, same thing happens. Sabres get the puck in the zone, right over to the Blackhawks, who clear it down the ice. Minute to go on the power play. So 7:20 to go in the second period. So Cody Ford, he's a player I like. Who should the Bills get rid of, who they haven't so far this offseason? Are you talking about free agents? Potentially, because Groy is a free agent, so it's not a matter of getting rid of him. Sabres on the attack now. Just had a nice shot on goal from the point. It's not a matter of getting rid of Groy. It's a matter of not re-signing him, which could be the same thing for Mills as well, and Miller. So, there's a couple players there who are free agents. There are a couple of our receivers that are free agents, I believe, as well. So it's not a matter of getting rid of. I think the only player under contract who the Buffalo Bills still might be thinking about getting rid of is LaShawn McCoy. Still surprised we haven't heard much about LaShawn McCoy as far as there's a penalty coming up on the Sabres on Middlestead for hooking, it looks like, as the Sabres penalty comes to an end. So it's going to be a delay penalty. It looks like the Blackhawks will have a full 2 minutes on the power play unless they score here because they have the puck and they're... Nope, okay. Whistle blows, and the Blackhawks will get a 2-minute power play. It will be their 4th power play of the game, currently 0 for 3. Sabres now 0 for 2 on the power play in the game. Sabres up 3-2 with 6:12 to go in the second period. But as far as veterans on the team who are under contract to the Bills might get rid of, I think the only guy left would be LaShawn McCoy, right? What are the Bills going to do with LaShawn McCoy? I think the fact they haven't got rid of him yet says something. But at the same time, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what to expect from this staff. But yeah, I think LaShawn McCoy is the only guy left where you're kind of questioning, like, what are they going to do other than the free agents. And we see what happened with Sean Alexander, with Levi Wallace, with a couple of these guys that they've already re-signed. So I think the writing's on the wall for your Jordan Mills and your I know one of our receivers is a free agent, Thompson. Players like that. I think the writing's on the wall for them. But we'll see. We'll see what happens come March 11th, come March 13th, and then of course heading into the NFL draft. At this point, I think we're keeping McCoy. So I don't think the Buffalo Bills are going to get rid of anybody that's not currently a free agent already. So, but we'll see. We'll see. I've been wrong once or twice in the past. I try not to do it too often. But it's been known to happen. Just ask my wife. It happens more than I like to admit. But I am an enigma. Funny guy. So going back to some of the other Buffalo Bills players that we have interviewed, went over some of these names. N'Keal Harry, wide receiver, Arizona State, guys. I really do like N'Keal Harry as well. J.J. Whiteside, I forgot to mention him earlier, from Stanford. We also interviewed him, wide receiver from Stanford. A big fan of him. So I really like a lot of the wide receivers coming out in this draft. So that's why I'm not sold 100% on DK Metcalf. If you look and if you tell me we trade down in the first round or early second round, get N'Keal Harris, I'm happy about that. Or if you tell me we get a Calvin Harmon later from NC State, I'm okay with that. Like, these are guys that I'm okay with getting. Another wide receiver, Riley Ridley, wide receiver from Georgia. Now, Riley Ridley did not have a good combine at all. Ran a 4.58 40 times 6'1", 199 pounds, 4.58 40 times 7.22 cone drill. Again, you don't want to see skill positions getting up in that 7.2s for the 3 cone drill. Obviously it's still better than me. And like I said in the video breaking down the combine, I do not call these guys losers. I know a lot of websites say winners and losers. How are they losers? They're about to make millions of dollars being drafted in the NFL. I call that winning. I call that hashtag winning. That's what I call that. So I'm not going to call them losers. I'll say that they have work to do on at their pro day. I'll say something like that, but I will not by any means call these guys losers just because they did not perform well at the NFL Combine. So that's my take on that. But I did talk about that in my breakdown, in the first breakdown. So 5 seconds left on power play. Blackhawks set up nicely in the zone. Shot is blocked by the Sabres as the power play comes to an end. Blackhawks still have the puck in the Sabres zone. However, now it's full strength, 5-on-5. Still 3-2, 4 minutes to go in the second period. The Sabres are able to get the puck back to center ice and clear it before there's a line change. So again, now the Blackhawks 0 for 4 on the power play. Great penalty kill by the Sabres. And again, that's something that's improved. That if anything else, that's the one thing that's improved this season, as Hutton saves the puck and holds onto it for a face-off in the Sabres zone. Still up 3-2 in this game. Some other players that the Sabres interviewed during the Combine: Ross Pierschbacher, offensive lineman, Alabama. Dax Raymond, tight end, Utah State. Another one of those tight ends that you can get later who might still be a good NFL prospect, chugging 6'5", 255 pounds, 4.73 40 time, 32-inch vertical. Impressed at the Senior Bowl and did nothing but help his draft stock more and more at the NFL Combine. He's one of the older prospects. He spent 2 years on some sort of Mormon mission trip, so he's a little bit older. But again, 6'5", 255, 4.73. You can't argue with those numbers. And then last on my list of players that we interviewed at the NFL Combine is Caleb McGarry. I think I talked about him as well from Washington. So those are the players that the Buffalo Bills interviewed during the NFL Combine. Who do you guys like? Who do you want the Buffalo Bills to take at that number 9 overall spot? Or are you a fan of trading down? Promethean, I know we've talked briefly in your comments about how you want to trade down at 9. And again, it all depends on who's available, right? I mean, I'll give you my top 9 players come the NFL draft. And my top 9, I'm not going to do it now because A, I'm not prepared. And B, because that's going to change come free agency. Our needs are going to change after free agency is over. That's why the draft is after free agency. If the draft was before free agency, then you would definitely be talking about a crapshoot of who the team is going to get because you don't know where they're looking in free agency. So free agency will definitely give us a hint as to where we're going to look come the NFL draft. And again, like I said before, this draft's a lot different than last year's draft. Last year's draft, we were looking at 4 quarterbacks and saying which one are the Bills getting. If the Bills don't get a quarterback in this draft, then it's a wasted draft. We're talking about, I think many people would be ready to fire Brandon Beane after his first draft if we don't get a quarterback in last year's draft. But this year, there are plenty of positions of need for the Buffalo Bills. As we're back from commercial break, 3:30 to go in the second period, 3-2. Sabres get the puck in Blackhawks zone. Blackhawks now have the puck, however, and are able to clear it out. So 3-2 Buffalo, 3:25 to go in the second period. But you talk about the positions of need for the Buffalo Bills this season, and there's a lot more. So there's a lot more room to say where we're going with that 9th overall pick. And there are very there are very few picks I believe that would upset me. I'm not the biggest fan of DK Metcalf, but I can't argue with that pick. I'm not sure about a tight end with the 9th overall going in the top 10. But if you pick up a tight end, TJ Hawkinson, 6'5", who ran a 4.7 40, then I can't argue with that pick. I'm not sure how I feel about Juwan Taylor, 6'5", 312 pounds, 24 bench reps at right tackle off Florida. But if you pick him up, I'm happy because there's a lot of good players coming out in this year's NFL draft. Again, guys, thank you for joining me. I believe so. My name is Joe. We're watching the Buffalo Sabres take on the Chicago Blackhawks, currently up 3-2. 3 goals in the second period in a matter of 7 minutes to go up 3-2 as we were down 2-0 at the end of the first period. We're talking about the Buffalo Bills. We're talking about the NFL draft. We're talking about the players that the Buffalo Bills met with at the NFL Combine. We'll also talk about the players that they met with at the East-West Shrine Game. There's a couple more players on this list here, who they have met with, who are the Bills interested in. We have the list of all the free agents coming out, each position. We're talking about positions of need for the Buffalo Bills. But man, I saw old Buffalo Bill Tyrod Taylor. He's gonna be a free agent. Where's he gonna end up, right? You talk about a guy who wanted to test the market and want to be a starter somewhere, signs with Cleveland, starts 3 games, and then that Thursday night game, people are begging to put in Baker Mayfield. Why is that? Why is that? For all you Bills fans, who did not want to get rid of Tyrod Taylor, where you at now? Where you at now? I mean, I'm not saying that Allen's the answer yet. I'm not saying that Allen's the greatest quarterback ever or anything like that. I'm not even saying that we'll have him in 5 years. I'm not saying any of that. But look where Tyrod is. Is that what you want? Is that what you would want? A Tyrod Taylor who, again, doesn't turn the ball over unless you listen to #sports and you count 3 and outs as turnovers. which Paul Mario talked about on #sports. So again, check them out if you haven't. I think I've promoted them a few times now, but great channel, so I'll do it all day. But he doesn't turn the ball over, but he also does. Cleveland fans were booing him. That's how bad he played. Cleveland fans were booing him. Okay, a team that 2 seasons ago went 1-15, and then the last season went 0-16. And then with Tyrod Taylor, they couldn't get a win. And then you put Baker in at halftime, all of a sudden they win. And not only did they win, they finished 7-8-1. Obviously, they did something right. Obviously, there's something in Baker Mayfield's water that he has that Tyrod didn't. So I'm just saying, is that what we wanted? We wanted this veteran guy who was a career backup as our starter? Or do we want to take a chance on a kid who might be a good NFL starter? Sabres have the puck in Blackhawks zone. Blackhawks able to get the puck and clear out, and they have a one-on-one in the Sabres zone. Shot on goal is saved by Hutton, and then back to the Blackhawks who have the puck. Scrimmage for the puck on the to the left of Hutton on the net. The Sabres able to win it, but they turn the puck over to the Blackhawks, who turn right back over to the Sabres. Sabres able to get the puck to center ice and take it into the Blackhawks zone before it gets turned over again to the Chicago Blackhawks. So Blackhawks have the puck. Less than a minute to go in the second period. Still 3-2 Buffalo. So for as dominating of a performance for the Blackhawks, that's going to be a penalty. So the Sabres went to clear the puck. That's our boy again. We've called his name a lot. Sabres went to clear the puck, and it was cleared right into the stand, right into the crowd. And it was in the Blackhawks zone, which is automatically a delay game penalty. And so the Blackhawks will get their 5th power play of the game. Can't keep giving up these power plays. The penalty kill is playing nice. Blackhawks are 0-4, but we can't keep, and we have a shorthanded goal even. But we cannot keep giving up these power plays. Hutton makes a great save at the beginning of this power play. So 1:52 to go on the power play. 37 seconds in the second period. Still 3-2. But yeah, we're talking about the Sabres. We're talking about the Bills. We're talking about the Buffalo Bulls. We're talking about Tyree Jackson and Anthony Johnson a little bit ago. Quarterback and wide receiver for the football team coming out this year in the 2019 NFL Draft, where I think they're going to go. Again, I think both of them. Now I think about it, Tyree Jackson might have been able to work his way into a 3rd round pick late. But yeah, I see them both going day 3, and I see Tyree Jackson going before Anthony Johnson. Sabres able to clear the puck with 1:40 to go on the power play, 20 seconds to go in the second period, guys. So looks like the Blackhawks will carry this power play over to the 3rd period as the clock ticks down. 15 seconds to go in the second period. They will get one more rush here. Puck goes into the corner. 10 seconds to go. 5 seconds. There's still a skirmish for the puck. 3 Blackhawks players and 2 Sabres players fighting. Blackhawks get it. Center up front, but the horn sounds, and it's the end of the second period with the Sabres scoring 3 goals in that period to go up 3-2 on the Chicago Blackhawks. Great period for the Sabres. Hutton with a really good period, making some great saves, and the Sabres go into the second intermission up 3-2. So we talked about the Buffalo Bulls football team. We talked about Tyree Jackson, Anthony Johnson. We talked about the Buffalo Bulls men's basketball team and women's basketball team. March Madness right around the corner. Do you guys do brackets? I love brackets. And this year, the Buffalo Bulls are going to the Sweet 16 at least. Coach Oates is going to get them ready to go. Currently projected to be a 5 seed in the tournament. I think it's Joe Lunardi still doing it. I'm not sure on ESPN. Currently projected as a 5 seed, maybe a 6 seed. But I think if they win the MAC championship, that will only go up, right? Currently the 19th seed according to the AP poll. I think if they win out, they'll be a 4 or 5 seed, have a nicer path to the Sweet 16 than if they were a 7 seed or an 8 seed. So we'll see what happens. We all remember what happened last year. Buffalo Bulls men's and women's team, both in the same season. Men's and women's team both got their first NCAA tournament victories. The women did end up making it to the Sweet 16 before getting knocked out by, I believe, Mississippi State. if I remember correctly. You guys can check that if you want. But then the Buffalo Bulls, of course, beating Arizona in an upset, losing to Kentucky. It was a fight. It was a great game, and we'll see what they can do this year. And the women, on the women's side, the women will have to win the MAC tournament to make it, I believe. Right now, if you look at the mock bracket for the women's side, they're not in. So I think it will take them winning out from here on. Well, actually, they can lose this weekend, I guess, but winning from there on during their tournament to make it to March Madness. We'll see what happens. They did just beat Miami, I believe it was, who is the #1 seed in the MAC East on the women's side of that bracket. So anything's possible once you get to those tournaments. Once you get to those conference tournaments, anything can happen. I'll enjoy watching Sarah Dillard and those girls, those women Bulls, go after the MAC championship. I think it'll be fun to watch. And that they start, I believe they start March 9th, maybe March 10th, I forget, but I'm sure someone will let me know. I can look it up even. I know that the men start March 11th. However, the Buffalo Bulls have the first game off. They have a bye. The first the two seeds in the MAC get a bye. And so the Buffalo Bulls actually won't play until March 14th, no matter what happens in their season finale. So let's look at the women's MAC tournament for 2019. See what they have here. That's interesting. So I'm just looking up right now on YouTube Sports, on Google, when the MAC championship will start. I'm going to scroll down here. I got their whole schedule up. Okay, so it looks like actually both of them are going to start on March 11th. So both the men and women's MAC championship runs will start March 11th. The Buffalo Bulls women's team also have that bye, though, so we won't see them. Maybe their second round is a little bit sooner, but we won't be seeing them on March 11th. It will be a later game. And guys, we will be live for those games too. When it comes to March Madness, obviously me, like most of you out there, I work. So if the Thursday or Friday game for the Buffalo Bulls is an early game, I might not be able to get live for that, but I'll go live as soon as I can after work during that time. But then that Saturday, Sunday game, if they win the first round game, I'll be live streaming that game as well. So if they get the late game, I'll be live streaming then. So just pay attention, hit that notification bell if you haven't already. Hit that subscribe button, guys. We go live all the time. We're live again. Let's check out the Sabres jersey. Yo, this is a hot jersey. I really like it. It's from the Winter Classic. And it's a Jack Eichel jersey now. It's number 15 because that's when that's when we were hosting the Winter Classic. It's not the number 9. But I'm a huge fan of this jersey. And then it even has I don't know if I'll be able to embroider it, but it has New York on the logo. Huge fan. So I like the jersey. Warm. If you've never worn a hockey jersey, it's a good 5 degrees warmer than. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to try to show this. I don't want to show off my belly, though. There's plenty of belly to show off. I don't want to. But it's like 5 to 10 degrees warmer in a hockey jersey than in normal clothes or in a football jersey. So it keeps me warm. I enjoy it. I like it a lot. Again, it's the Winter Classic jersey, which makes me happy. No, I'm a fan. But thanks. Thanks for noticing. So we talk about the Buffalo Bulls, and again, of course, always going to keep you covered when it comes to the Buffalo Bills. We're going to talk about the NFL draft. We've talked about that a lot. We could talk more about Antonio Brown, what teams you think. Again, I hear these 3 surprise teams, right? Who are these 3 surprise teams that everyone's talking about? It could be the Bills. It could be. I mean, I don't want Antonio Brown, but you have to believe that the coaching staff has done their due diligence if we are going to get Antonio Brown. Speaking of Antonio Brown, we're going to check out NFL.com right now and see if there's any breaking news that we're not getting on our phone. Yeah, we know about the trade. The Washington Redskins and the Broncos agreed to a trade where Case Keenum is going to go to the Redskins, and they're going to swap 2020 sixth and seventh round picks. So the Redskins get Case Keenum and the seventh round 2020 pick of the Denver Broncos, and the Washington Redskins get. The Washington Redskins get get Keenum and the seventh round pick of the Broncos, and the Broncos get the sixth round pick of the Redskins in 2020. So we'll see what happens. So Kyler Murray is going to run the 40 and throw at March 13th's pro day. So his pro day is going to be March 13th, and he can only at this point. Hey, thank you. Thanks for everything. But at this point, you would think Kyler Murray can only hurt his stock, right? Everyone's talking about how great he's going to be. And I had a little rant earlier. If you missed it, I ranted about how everyone's talking so highly on Kyler Murray. I'm not insulting the kid. I think he's going to be could be a great NFL player. But it's funny to me how before the combine, like everyone's warning you of all the experts are warning you of the smoke screens, right? Of don't listen to all these teams; they're gonna be lying to you. You're talking about the GM for the New York Giants saying, "Oh, Eli's our quarterback for now." You talk about the GM of the Oakland Raiders and Chucky talking about Derek Carr and how he's their quarterback for now. You can't take anything at their word. You can't take anyone at their word at this time. Arizona might be talking up Kyler Murray and talking about picking him with the first overall pick because they want to see the best trade value. Maybe they want to trade at number one because their offensive line. You want to talk about the Bills having bad offensive line? The Arizona Cardinals' offensive line last year was worse than the Buffalo Bills. And you're blaming Josh Rosen for that? I just don't believe it. Just don't believe it. If if Arizona spends their first overall pick on a quarterback, depending what they get for Josh Rosen, you might have another terrible offensive line, and you might have another terrible couple seasons. And what does that say about your GM? You get a new GM, they get a new head coach, and a new quarterback. Last season, you've already fired your head coach after one season, and now you can get rid of your quarterback? Experts still say if Josh Rosen would have came out this year instead of last year, he'd be the number one quarterback, possibly the number one overall pick in this draft. And you're going to get rid of him? I don't know. Steve and I last year at this time, we were upset that we got Josh Allen over Josh Rosen. Excuse me. But it seems to have worked out for the best so far. We'll see if that continues. But yeah, everyone's talking about the smoke screens that could happen, and then all of a sudden you hear Kyler Murray's going to be the number one overall pick, and Arizona's going to sell and trade Josh Rosen. Really? And you just buy it. You just buy it. Now I'm not saying Kyler Murray's not going to be the number one overall pick, but what if Arizona's talking him up for something else? Something's brewing, guys. Remember last year, by this time last year, the Jets already traded for the number 3 overall pick with the Indianapolis Colts. There were big moves that were made at the NFL Combine just because of who was there. We haven't heard anything. Doesn't that seem odd to somebody? Doesn't that seem a little odd? We haven't heard nothing. Antonio Brown whispers of where is he going? Yeah, I get that. I understand that. Le'Veon Bell whispers, where is he going to go? Well, we're not going to know that for another week, right? Well, not a week, maybe like 5 days, okay? We're not going to know. But we haven't heard anything. I think that's interesting. I think that's telling. I think we're about to hear a lot. And if we hear a lot, if it has anything to do with Buffalo sports, we're going to be covered right on Believers Talk. So if you haven't already hit that subscribe button, guys, be sure to do that. Again, I appreciate all of you joining me for this live stream. Second period, we're at intermission between the Buffalo Sabres and the Chicago Blackhawks. Chicago Blackhawks jumped out to a 2-0 lead in that first period. But then in the second period, the Sabres score 3 goals in 7 minutes to go up 3-2. Hold on to that lead for the rest of the second period, and that is the score. Currently 3-2 Buffalo heading into the third period of play. Again, Sabres might not be ending as strongly as we would have hoped, but we do want to see them continue to play strong. If you're a Sabres fan, you want them to do well. You want them to finish strong no matter what happens. I know we're, 11 points back at this point. It's looking bleak. It's looking like the Lakers' chances to make the NBA playoffs. You know what I'm saying? It's looking bad. But you always want to finish strong. You always want to give your fans something to cheer for going into next season. We're playing better than we have the past 2 seasons, right? All we want to do is continue to see improvement for the Buffalo Sabres. for next season, right? Had a tough time on the road this season. Hopefully we're getting better. Had a tough time with turnovers this season. We have in this game a little bit as well. Beginning of the season, we were bad with penalty kill. That's gotten a lot better since I'll say since the All-Star break. But yeah, you just want to see this team continue to improve. So that's what we're hoping for. Currently up 3-2 on the Chicago Blackhawks. We've talked about the Buffalo Bills. We've gone over some of the free agents. I have a whole list here, every single position broken down. Free agents. NFL.com gave their 101 top free agents. Number one, of course, being Le'Veon Bell, the number one overall free agent in this year's NFL free agency. You want to look at number two. Who do they have at number two? I have the numbers next to their names, so I'm going to look to see who is at number two. Who you guys think is number two? I got is Earl Thomas, safety. Again, a position not of need for the Buffalo Bills. You could use a little depth, but if you're talking depth at the safety position, you're talking younger. You're not talking Earl Thomas. You're talking about someone who can learn behind Micah Hyde for a little bit and Poyer, not someone who wants to be the starter like they are there. So going on the quarterbacks, in your top 101, you have Nick Foles as the number 4 overall free agent. We know that he is going to be a Jacksonville Jaguar as soon as free agency starts. There have been rumors that have talked about contracts already. Well, Arizona, someone's picking up Kyler Murray in the top 8 picks, right? So I don't know if Arizona picking one helps us or not. I can argue that Arizona not picking one helps us more than them picking one, because that's more likely if we're looking to trade back, because that's more likely a quarterback's going to be there at 9. You know, if one of those 3 quarterbacks is there at 9, I wouldn't be surprised if at 9 someone tries to trade up with the Buffalo Bills before some of the other teams get a chance, right? Before some of the other teams have a chance to draft him. But we'll see. So you have Nick Foles at 4. Obviously, we know he's going to be with Jacksonville. 24 is Teddy Bridgewater. That's an interesting one, right? Teddy Bridgewater last year went with the Jets. I think he was with the Saints now, and now he's going to be a free agent. We saw him play well in preseason last season. We really did. So what does that mean coming into the season? Who's going to take a chance on Teddy Bridgewater, 2 seasons removed now from that terrible ACL injury? You're talking about RG3, he's not in the top 101, but he had a great preseason for the Baltimore Ravens. Also in the top 101, Tyrod Taylor. Our boy Tyrod ranked 64th as far as top 101 free agents. Maybe that says something about that free agency class this season. And then 101 is Sam Bradford. Hard to believe Sam Bradford's still in the league, but he's listed as the 101 best free agent. You go to the running backs again, Le'Veon Bell was number 1. Tevin Coleman, who has been linked to the Buffalo Bills. There have been rumors that Tevin Coleman's going to meet with the Buffalo Bills. That would be a great signing, and that would alleviate the pressure of drafting a running back. But again, is there enough carries in the backfield for Chris Ivory, LaShawn McCoy, and Tevin Coleman? I don't know. Jay Ajayi's 55, Mark Ingram 32, Marshawn Lynch, ex-Buffalo Bill, making it 95, and Adrian Peterson still going strong, listed at 75, 75th best free agent. TJ Yeldon, formerly the Jacksonville Jaguars, listed as the 80th. But again, these are the type of guys we're not looking for. We're not looking to get older at running back. We already have the 2 oldest running backs under contract going into 2019. Wide receiver, you look at some of the wide receivers, and this is something that some of you Bills fans might be interested in. 38, you got John Brown. 78, you got Cole Beasley. 76, you got another former Bill, Calvin Benjamin. It didn't work out for the Chiefs there either, did it? Randall Cobb at 63, Chris Conley 94, Michael Crabtree 69, Jamison Crowder 35. That would be an interesting pickup for the Buffalo Bills. Devin Funchess, we all know at the beginning of last offseason, we've heard Devin Funchess' name a lot associated with the Buffalo Bills only because of where he comes from, right? He's originally from Carolina. You talk about Brandon Beane, you talk about Coach Sean McDermott. They are Carolina guys, and we've seen what they've done in the past with some Carolina guys. You talk about Star Latuile and some of those other guys who came over from Carolina. Devin Funchess fits that mold. He's listed as 42 on NFL.com's top 101 free agents. You go M. Humphries. I'm a huge M. Humphries fan. Number 44 ranked. I would love to see him come to Buffalo. Again, I feel like he fits the mold of a lot of wide receivers we already have in Buffalo. But I just see him as a great talent. And you can never have too much great talent on your team. So picking him up, depending on that number, right? What's he looking for as far as years, as far as number? We'll see what happens, but that would be someone I would be very interested in. Dante Moncrief, the 83rd best on the NFL.com top 101. And then someone else I'm interested in who killed us with New England, that's Cordarrelle Patterson. He's listed as number 62 on this list. Back with New England, he was great with those screen passes, with those end arounds, things like that. He would kill us, and we're not the only ones. He would kill a lot of teams with those end arounds. Surprising how much they actually worked, even late in the season, even in the Super Bowl. Cordarrelle Patterson, I remember the second round of the game. If you guys didn't like the Super Bowl, I'm sorry. I loved the Super Bowl. Second run of the game, the first play was a run right up the middle, right at Ndamukong Suh, who was playing defensive tackle. And then the second play of the game, Donald came inside Suh. Donald was then defensive tackle. Suh was defensive end. So, they switched things up a little bit. You have an end around to Cordarrelle Patterson to Ndamukong Suh's side. He gets a first down, gets downfield a little bit before he's pushed out of bounds. I think it was a great chess match between defensive coordinator Wade Phillips, ex-Buffalo Bill head coach, and Bill Belichick. I think it was just a great back and forth between the two of them watching that all game. So I really enjoyed that. But talking about Cordarrelle Patterson, Golden Tate, number 26, and then Terrell Williams, number 36 on this list as far as top 101 for the NFL.com's 101 free agents. Tight ends, you're looking at tight ends. Again, Buffalo Bills could use some help at tight end. We talk about some of the tight ends coming out in the NFL draft. Some of them really high on. Font, I really like out of Iowa. Some other good ones. You got a few tight ends coming out this year. We have heard rumors of Dwayne Allen. I'm not a huge Dwayne Allen fan. I feel like he's been a bust everywhere he's gone. But we have heard rumors that he might come up to Buffalo and check us out, interview with us, and see what we can make happen. I feel like that would be a short-term, low-money contract, so I'm not too worried about it. But at the same time, I don't want us to pick up Dwayne Allen for agency. I think our tight end problems are over. I think that we need to pick up maybe one in free agency and one in the draft, as we currently only have one tight end on our active roster, and that's Jason Kroom. So we need tight ends to fill this roster. So third period underway here in Chicago. The Sabres up 3-2, 1:05 left on the Blackhawks power play. Again, 3-2, 19:40 to go now in the third period. So I'll keep you updated again, guys. Thank you for joining me on Believers Talk. My name is Joe. Been watching the Sabres game. Been keeping you updated on Bills news as far as the draft and what's going on with the Buffalo Bills. We're talking about free agents now on the top 101 NFL.com free agent list as free agency begins next Wednesday, March 13th, March 11th. So that's Monday. That's 4 days away. They're going to be able to start talking to these players, to these free agents. We'll get deals done in principle as we get ready for the NFL free agency period to begin. Hutton with a great save, diving across the net to make a save. 26 seconds to go on the power play. 3-2 Buffalo over Chicago. Great save by Hutton to keep it that way. As again, the Blackhawks already 0 for 4 on the power play, their fifth power play of the game, and Hutton's doing a great job keeping it that way. Great job in the net. Again, I think Hutton is not getting the credit he deserves for this season due to the lack of defensive help he's been getting by the Sabres. So Blackhawks win the faceoff. They're going to try to set up in the zone one more time. Sabres defense able to get the puck and get it out of the zone with 15 seconds to go on the power play. So great job there. Going to tight ends, again, Dwayne Allen, but someone who's been linked to the Buffalo Bills. Talk about Jared Cook, listed as the 20th best player on the free agent top 101 list. I am not the biggest Jared Cook fan, but I do know that he is a pretty good tight end. I'm not going to deny that. So we'll see how far we get there. Again, we do need to pick up probably one tight end here in free agency and then another one in the draft to get three tight ends. We had three tight ends on our roster last year. You're talking about Charles Clay, you're talking about Logan Thomas, and you're talking about Jason Kroom. Logan Thomas, another tight end, going to hit the free agency market And then Charles Clay, of course, we released him. So, and then Tyler Eifert's on this list as well, 79th on the NFL.com's top 101 free agent list. Tackles, you go to offensive tackle, obviously a position need for Buffalo. A couple really good tackles coming out in this free agency period. You got Trent Brown listed at 25th, DJ Fluker 67th, Juwan James, someone I really like, at 31, Donovan Smith, and Darrell Williams, someone else who I really like, ranked at 18th. Guards and centers, you got James Carpenter, number 89, Roman Foster, 57. Blackhawks have the puck in the Sabres zone. Actually, Sabres have it, able to clear to center ice. Raymond Foster, 57. Mitch Morse, of course, at 27. I'm a huge fan of Mitch Morse. And then Matt Paradis, someone that you guys are a huge fan of, at 29. Roger Saffold at 21. Quentin Spain at 70. And then J.R. Sweezy at 97. So those are the guards and centers going to be available come free agency. Defensive lineman, you got Henry Anderson, 45th. Malcolm Brown, 52nd. I'm a huge fan of Malcolm Brown, of course. Malcolm Brown has already won a Super Bowl in his career, so would love to see him come to Buffalo and help us do the same thing there. Jonathan Hankins, number 71. Corey Luget, 66th on the top 101 list for free agents. Damata Peko, hold on a second, I want to look at this. Oh, that's why. Okay, sorry guys, I got back to another text now. Another text. Again, guys, I cannot text and talk at the same time, so I apologize. I'll try to at least talk so you know what I'm doing. I'm texting back right now. So just texting back to have some plans this week or next week during the NFL. During the free agent period, I have some plans. So I will still be keeping you guys updated on Bills news and on any other big news around the NFL, where Bell goes, where Brown goes, of course. Any big signings in the AFC East that would affect the Buffalo Bills. Still 3-2 Sabres over the Blackhawks, 15:30 to go in the third period. Score by the Blackhawks, as I am, of course, texting. The Blackhawks score, make it 3-3 with 15:12 to go in the third period. So again, thank you for joining. I believe it's talking. If you just joined me, Sabres just allowed a goal by the Blackhawks with 15:12 to go to make this game 3-3. Sabres down 2-0 in the first period. Come back in the second period to score 3 goals in 7 minutes to make it 3-2. And now the Blackhawks here, 5 minutes into the third period, score a goal and make it 3-3. So we are looking at a close game here. And again, we want to see the Sabres continue to win, and even if they don't make the playoffs, finish strong and show your fan base that you're getting better. And we just want to see constant improvement for the Buffalo Sabres. So continue to go down this list of the NFL free agents, NFL.com's top 101 free agents going into free agency, which starts March 13th, which is next Wednesday. Sabres come right back and have a scoring chance on Crawford. He makes a great save, 14:45 to go in the third period, and it's still 3-3 now Blackhawks and Sabres tied, of course. So going over the top 101 free agents as free agency is getting ready to start next week. I've gone over most of the positions here, talking about defensive linemen now with Demeta Pecco at 100, Darius Philon, however you want to say it, 68th. Sheldon Richardson at 9. And then, of course, Ndamukong Suh used to be at the Miami Dolphins, used to be at Detroit Lions, last year with the Rams. Is now a free agent. He's listed at number 9 overall, or number 11 overall, as far as the top free agents coming into the season. Brett Urban, the 93rd best free agent, and Muhammad Wilkerson, 84th. Edge defenders, Ezekiel Ansah, huge fan of his. He's the 14th best free agent coming out. Saquon Barrett, 39th. Trey Flowers, 3rd. Dante Fowler Jr., 30th, formerly of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Not sure the relationship between him and the Buffalo Bills. Marcus Golden, 72nd. Benson Mayowa, 92nd. Clay Matthews. Remember, Clay Matthews used to be a huge impact player for the Green Bay Packers. Has kind of slacked off these last couple of years. Last year or two, I'll say he's declined a little bit, but still very productive. And he's listed at 54th. Derek Morgan, 90th. Alex Okafor, 82nd. Shane Ray, 88th. Preston Smith, listed as 12th. Za'Darius Smith, 15th. Terrell Suggs, man, just an awesome player, listed at 40th. Cameron Wake, 51st. Off-ball linebackers, again, we don't need linebackers. That's not a position need for the Buffalo Bills, but you better believe these guys will go somewhere. Anthony Barr, remember Anthony Barr? Hurdler? Yeah, maybe he remembers looking up at Josh Allen. I'm not sure. But Anthony Barr, 6th overall as far as the best free agents coming out this season in the NFL. NFL.com ranked the top 101 free agents. Thomas Davis, 81st. KJ Wright, 8th. Inside linebacker, you got Quan Alexander, 23rd. Mark Barron, 86th. Deion Buchanan, 53. Jordan Hicks, 22. Brandon Marshall, 99. CJ Mosley, 7. Denzel Perryman, 37. And let's talk about a guy on this list not even ranked. The guy that I would have loved to keep come last season, at the end of the season last year, and that's Preston Brown. Preston Brown is on this list as a free agent, and he's not even listed in the top 101. So maybe Coach McDermott, maybe Brand B, maybe they know what they're doing at that linebacker position. Maybe they feel like they know the guys that can get them right. And who's upset with Tremaine Edmonds right now? Tremaine Edmonds had a great rookie season, and I look forward to seeing him continue to improve for the next 4 years, possibly 5 years. Or I guess 3 years for possibly 4 years now for the Buffalo Bills. It's going to be fun to watch. Go cornerback positioning, and cornerback is kind of positioning for Buffalo. We know Trey White's on the one side kicking butt, but who is going to be that number 2? Who's going to be that shutdown number 2? We all know what happened last year with Mr. Davis. Don't want that to happen again, so we want to look at these guys carefully and see who we can get to be that number 2 cornerback. So you talk about Bryce Callahan listed at 28th. Kareem Jackson listed at 33. Those are the 2 guys I'm most interested in. But there are a bunch of other guys on this list ranked in the top 101 at NFL.com. Bashad Breeland, 58th. Maurice Claiborne, 47th. Justin Coleman, 56th. Ronald Darby. Remember Ronald Darby? Ronald Darby, a huge Buffalo fans' favorite. You know, he was a fan favorite when he was in Buffalo. Part of a trade. He got traded away. Love to see him come back. Come on back. We'll accept you back. We don't mind. We do not mind. We know what happened. Darquez Denari, 46th. Pierre Desire, 43rd. Brent Grimes, 96th. Jason McCourty, 61st. Rashawn Melvin, 98th. Steven Nelson, 77th. Brian Poole, 85th. Bradley Roby, 19th. And then Jason Verrett, 49th. Going to the safeties, again, not position need for the Buffalo Bills. We're not looking at safeties, I don't believe, at least. And if we do, it would be in the draft. Get younger at that position. Get a little more depth. Always understand getting depth at certain positions. But you want to try to get younger, as you have Adrian Amos, 34th. HaHa Clinton Dix, always a huge fan of HaHa just because of the name. He's a younger safety. Maybe that's somewhere we want to look. He's listed as 41st on NFL.com's top 101. Landon Collins is listed 5th. Clayton Gathers, 60th. Lamarcus Joyner, 13th. Tyrann Mathieu, the Huggy Bear, right? Huggy Bear listed as 10th. As we're back from commercial, less than 13 minutes to go in the third period. Again, Blackhawks, Sabres tied at 3 after Chicago just scored the game-tying goal about 2 minutes ago to make this game 3-3. Blackhawks went up 2-0 early in this one in the first period. Sabres have a quick 2-on-1 here, and they score. Goal by the Buffalo Sabres, Poso with the goal to make it 4-3. Buffalo Sabres. Let's go Sabres. A quick 2-on-1. His 11th goal of the season for Okposo, and the Sabres are now up 4-3. Real quick, again, able to move the puck quickly up the ice. Great backhand pass to Okposo, who's open in the front of the net. Empty net because Crawford is leaning to his right, and an easy goal. So it's now 4-3 Sabres over the Blackhawks. About 13 minutes to go. Great goal there. Great job by the Buffalo Sabres to get up again after letting the game-tying goal go in just a few minutes ago. So 12:40 to go in the third period. Now the Sabres up 4-3. Would love to see them go up 2 goals here. But again, going through safeties, Taha, Clinton Dix, Lane Collins, Clayton Geethers, 60th, Marcus Joy, 13th, Teron Matthew, the Huggy Bear, 10, Adrian Phillips, 50th, Glover Quinn, 87th, Earl Thomas, we talked about him a little bit earlier, again, great safety, but not something we're looking for really. Number 2, Kenny Vaccaro, 59th, Jimmy Ward, 74th, Eric Weddle, who was just released by the Baltimore Ravens, listed at 48th. And the Blackhawks come right back and tie it back up with a goal right in the front. Again, the Sabres defense gets a turn, turns the puck over right in front of Hutton, and it's an easy turnaround goal for the Blackhawks. Number 11 for the Chicago Blackhawks with the goal to make it 4-4. A turnover right in front for the Sabres. Just not a great play. And there's just an open net. Hutton has no shot in that situation. Just terrible defensive play by the Buffalo Sabres. And what can you do? What can you do? And then Eric Weddle, 48th, again, just released by the Baltimore Ravens. Going down to special teams, I don't think we have any issues with special teams. There were rumors earlier about the Buffalo Bills getting rid of Steven Hauschka. That's not going to happen. I don't think that's going to happen, at least. But we do have two kickers on this list. Steven Gostkowski is the 73rd best free agent according to NFL.com. And then Jason Myers is listed at 91. So we do have some special teams players on there as well. But the Buffalo Bills probably not looking at special teams. Probably would be looking for a punter if we could find us a good punter. But I would love to see Jorges come back to the Buffalo Sabres after getting injured last season. Really enjoyed watching him the first half of the year. Love those left-footed punters. Confused the return man a little bit as the Sabres and Blackhawks are now tied 4-4, 11:15 to go in the third period. So we're going to see what happens here as the Sabres go up 4-3, and then the Blackhawks come right back off a defensive turnover by the Buffalo Sabres and tie this game up again. The Buffalo Sabres defense letting down the goaltending. I think the goaltending has been really good today by Hutton. I think he's done a really good job. As the Sabres get the puck deep into Blackhawks zone and unable to score with it. So 10:45 to go in the third period, 4-4. Sabres have the puck in their own zone, behind the net now. I thank you for joining me this late on this Thursday evening. Again, love joining you guys live on Thursdays. We went live during the Thursday Night Football halftime shows to talk about the pregame of the Buffalo Bills versus whoever they were playing. That week to pregame that game and get you ready for that week. But when the season's over, we still have a lot to talk about. Watching the Sabres game right now, we talk about Buffalo Bills free agency coming up. Draft, of course, Combine just ended. We talk about who the Buffalo Bills interviewed at the NFL Combine. Each team gets a certain number of interviews that they can have. So that kind of gives you an inclination as to where a team's looking, unless, of course, they're just playing possum for you. Sabres have a quick 2-on-1 again, unable to get the puck into, they try to pass the puck to the center and unable to do so. Now they have the puck behind the net. Blackhawks able to get it back, retrieve it. Sabres keep it in the zone, however, and move it along behind the net again. And then goes in front of the goaltender. Goaltender Crawford holds on to the puck. So 9:30 to go in the third period. 4-4 Blackhawks and Sabres. I hope you took the over if you're a betting man in this game. I know the Blackhawks were favored in this game to win. So hopefully you took the over. And hopefully you took the Sabres, right? Hopefully they can pull this one out. I would love to see that, as I am getting tired as it's getting late here on the East Coast. If you're joining me on the East Coast, you know it's 11 o'clock. So, again, thank you for joining me on this late evening for the live stream of the Buffalo Sabres game. We talked about the Bills, we talked about the Sabres, we talked about the Bulls, both basketball and football. We didn't talk about the Bisons yet, but this Bison season hasn't started yet. They did go over the promotion schedule not too long ago, but that's pretty much it for the Bisons right now. And then you can also talk about the Bandits lacrosse team, and they play I think tomorrow night. Tell you in a second. I know the Buffalo Bulls play tomorrow night, so I hope you guys enjoy that game. Tomorrow we got the Buffalo Bulls, men's Buffalo Bulls team playing against Bowling Green. 14.5-point favorites. We're at home. Guys, the Buffalo Bulls men's basketball team, a much different team on home than on the road. And that scares me because, again, during the NCAA tournament, you're never at home. Now, the good news about that is more than likely you're not going to be at the opponent's home either. It's going to be a neutral court game. And the Buffalo Bulls haven't played too many true neutral site games this season. So it'll be interesting to see how they do on a neutral site compared to on the road. So I do look forward to seeing that. But they're home tomorrow against Bowling Green. And then the Buffalo Bandits do play the team from Philadelphia tomorrow at 8 p.m. So if you're interested in lacrosse, you want to keep, or in Buffalo sports, you want to keep that on your mind. So again, this game right here, Sabres Blackhawks 4-4 as we get ready to restart this game. About 9.5 minutes to go. The Sabres just allowed the fourth goal after they scored the fourth. So they on a defensive turnover, they allowed the third goal to tie at 3-3. And then they get a quick goal to make it 4-3. But on an Okposo goal, really nice goal. But then the defense turns it over again, and now it's 4-4. So the defense really not helping us out here as it's 4-4, 9:27 now to go in the third period. Again, thank you for joining me. I believe it's Talk. My name is Joe. Whether it be live or whether you watch the replay of this, I really appreciate you guys tuning in. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Like this video as the likes really help this channel out. And then hit that notification bell as we continue to go live, give you live play-by-play reaction. We went live for every Buffalo Bills game this season, giving you live play-by-play reaction. We'll be live for the NFL Draft. We'll be live for the Buffalo Bulls as they make their March Madness pushes, and in March Madness we will be live for that as you guys fill out your brackets and hopefully get paid. Have the Buffalo Bulls making it to the Elite 8 at least, and we'll see what happens from there. Still 4-4, 8:40 to go in the third period. Blackhawks have the puck in the Sabres zone. Sabres able to get a turnover here and move the puck up ice. Nice move there by Okposo, I believe that was, to get a shot on the net, but he does miss the net anyway. So still 4-4, 8 minutes and 15 seconds now to go in the third period, as now the Blackhawks move up into the Sabres zone, have a 3-on-2, get a shot on goal from the right on Hutton. Hutton's able to make the save, and then the Sabres get the puck back, start moving up ice at center ice, and they clear it into the Blackhawks zone, and they go in for a line change. So again, thank you for joining my Believers Talk again on this late Thursday evening, 10:52 on the East Coast. So I appreciate you guys joining me watching the Sabres Blackhawks game. Currently 7:50 to go in the third period in a tie game, 4-4, as the Sabres and Blackhawks having really down year for the Blackhawks at least. I mean, heck, we're 11th in the standings, but it's an up year for us. That's how bad we've been recently. But we really have been doing pretty well this season. For the most part, again, second half of the year, we haven't been shining like we wanted to, and that is what's led to us dropping in the standings. Now I think there are 3 teams ahead of us, and then the 8th seed. So we have the Flyers, Canadians, Penguins, and Panthers. Hurricanes all ahead of us right now, and we have to pass at least 3 of those teams to potentially get, I think we're 11 points back, something like that. So it's not looking good, but again, you want to finish on a strong note if you are the Sabres. And you want to do the same thing if you're the Blackhawks, of course, even though you don't have any playoff admirations. But you can still see what you can do. See what you can do. Yeah, that's texting, guys. And again, I can't talk and text at the same time. You talk about not driving and texting, I can't even talk and text at the same time. So 4-4, 7 minutes and 5 seconds to go in the third period. Again, Blackhawks and Buffalo Sabres currently tied. We already talked about the Buffalo Bills. We talked about the Bulls. We talked about the Sabres. Anything you guys want to talk about, of course, you can leave a comment on the right-hand side. I think it's on the right-hand side for most of you guys. But you can leave a comment. We'll happily talk about. We talk about DK Metcalf, of course, a lot. Again, stud athlete. I'm sold on him as an athlete. I'm just not sold on him as a football player. As I look down the list of wide receivers available in the draft, he's definitely the most athletic, the most physically gifted of all the wide receivers, but is he the best wide receiver? I'm just not so sure. And when I say something like that, then I'm not sure I want to take him with the ninth overall pick when we have so many other needs, guys, that we can fill. But again, it all depends how the draft board shakes up come draft day. You're talking about 2, possibly 3 quarterbacks taken in the top 10 picks, and that just bodes well for Buffalo Bills fans. Anything that takes away from the big names, from Jonah Williams, from Juwan Taylor, from a couple names like that, that really just helps us out. So again, we'll look forward to seeing more of that. Sabres have the puck in the Blackhawks zone. 4-4, 5:30 to go in the fourth period. Maybe it was going to overtime, but I don't think I call it the fourth period. In the third period, 5:30 to go now. 4-4, Blackhawks have the puck in Sabres zone. Rolling to the middle of the ice. No one's in the middle of the ice, so they have a wide open shot on net, unable to convert, and then the Sabres are able to clear the puck down the ice and try to get a line change here. Again, the Sabres defense just kind of letting us down again here. And again, we talk about that. That's supposed to be Housley's strong point, right? He was a defensive player when he played. When he was working as an assistant coach in Nashville, he was mostly a defensive guy. And here we are, and our biggest problem is going to be the defense all season. That just should not be acceptable. If you're a Buffalo Sabres fan, you want to see, when we hired Housley, you want to see better defensive play from the Buffalo Sabres. And here our offense is actually doing pretty well with Skinner and Eichel and Oposo and just all these great names. And our defense just has been letting us down. Now, we did just trade for Montour, and we'll see how he does. He does have a goal in this game even. So we'll see. I think he has 2 goals now for the Sabres since the trade. But you just want to continue to see improvement, and we just haven't continued to see improvement from this Sabres team. But again, I do want to thank you guys for joining me. If you're joining me late on the East Coast, again, special thank you out to you guys as well. Sabres get a shot on goal on Crawford, unable to score. Keep the puck in the zone for a little while until the Blackhawks get the puck back, move it to center ice into the Sabres zone as they get a 3-on-3 here, and then they move it to the center of the ice, unable to connect on pass. Sabres get the puck back and able to move it out. Eichel with the puck at center ice. Passes it back. Then we get the puck into the zone. Milstead tries to pass the puck to center ice, unable to connect with anybody. Blackhawks get the puck back into Sabres zone, but Sabres able to clear it out to center ice, and that's where the Blackhawks will get the puck back, and they will have a line shift there. I hope Hauschka returns to pre-injury form. Absolutely, no, I completely agree with you. I'm a huge fan of Hauschka. I think he's been the most consistent kicker we've had since Steve Christie. And I would love to see him return. I remember some people saying that we might trade him just because of how old he's getting. Well, you remember, guys, these kickers now are playing until their mid-40s. Like, Anderson played until he was 45. He's, what is Hauschka, 36, 37? For a kicker, that's not that old. As long as he knows how to kick the ball, and like you said, Promethean, as long as he gets back to pre-injury form, that'd be pretty awesome. Be pretty awesome if he could do that. Consistency. Again, we're talking about a guy who's 2 years removed from tying the record for most consecutive 50-plus yard field goals made. As Crawford loses his stick, it looks like the Sabres have the puck in Chicago's zone, and Crawford is without a stick right now. So we're just trying to shoot the puck on net. Just get the puck on net as long as you have it in the zone. Blackhawks is able to clear. Sabres still have the puck in center ice. Now get the puck back into the Blackhawk zone. Crawford's still without a stick, and the puck goes out of play. So Crawford's able to get his stick back. But for a minute there, he did not have his stick, and you at that point, you're just trying to get the puck on net, right? Because he doesn't have part of his equipment. He's unable to do his job right. You want to get that puck on net and see what happens. So 4-4 still. Buffalo Sabres, Chicago Blackhawks still tied, looking for that game-winning goal. Will we go into overtime again this season? I think we have 8 overtime losses. I think we have like 15 overtime games overall. So we've seen overtime quite a bit. We've seen those shootouts. Even in that 10-game winning streak, I think we were in overtime 4 of those games. So we'd love to see us win a game or two in regulation, but as long as we're winning, that makes me happy. But we're not winning right now. If you look at the standings, we're not winning at all, and we keep moving down the standings. So we'll see what happens as we continue here. But again, tied game 4-4. But yeah, no, Promethean, I completely agree with you. I just want to see us go back to, or Steven Hauschka go back to pre-injury form. Still, when I think back to that play, the Jets player who hit him right before the half, that there should have been a penalty there. I'm surprised there wasn't. It still just gives me a headache just thinking about, right? Like, how can you not have a penalty on that play? And right, the penalty would came in the second half, right? It would just been enforced on the kickoff, so it's not like we would have had another field goal attempt or anything like that. And in fact, they if you remember right, the Jets fumble the opening kickoff to start the second half of that game. Bills get the ball and are able to score a touchdown then. So one thing leads to another, right? What can you say? So obviously it changes the outcome of a game. But yeah, you would love to see the NFL get those right. And I think the NFL wants to see themselves get those ones right. Anything that has to do with player safety, you want to see them get it right. So we're back from the commercial break, and they're taking a look at some good saves here by Hutton. He's had a really good day. Again, had to sprawl out to make a couple saves here. And so just a really good job today. The score is not indicative of how good of a game he's had. In fact, if we look at the stat sheet, I'll tell you exactly. He's made 34 of 38 saves, which doesn't sound that great. But when your defense is as porous as the Sabres are, it is actually pretty good. 2 of the goals, I can say he really had no chance on, and I don't blame him for. The other 2, you can argue he had a chance. Eichel has the puck now at center ice, and the Sabres move the puck into the Blackhawks zone. Behind the net, Blackhawks get the puck back, trying to move it up ice, unable to do so. Eichel gets the puck on a turnover, shoots the puck at the net. The shot is blocked, and the Blackhawks are able to move the puck up ice before they clear it once they cross the center line to get a line change, and the Sabres will take the puck behind the net. 2 minutes and 5 seconds to go in the third period. Still 4-4 here in this one as we're looking closer and closer like we might have overtime. Guys, I do love, since the NHL changed overtime to 3-on-3, I'm a huge fan of 3-on-3 overtime hockey. It's a lot of fun, a lot of fast-paced back and forth action, and I'm a huge fan of that. Hope that stays for quite some time. I know they wanted to get rid of that 4-on-4. I know they want to try to finish these games before the shootouts as much as possible. And I'm also happy that the playoffs remain the same, right? 5-on-5 until you score, right? I really enjoy that, even if the last time I remember doing that for a long extended period of time was a 3-overtime blown call against the Dallas Stars in the Stanley Cup in Game 6. But I don't hold grudges. But I do. I still remember when Lindy Ruff went to Dallas after he was fired by Buffalo. It was just so upsetting that that's where he went. So Sabres have the puck in the Blackhawks zone. Get a couple shots off. Crawford makes a couple good saves. and the Sabres unable to control the puck after that, and the Blackhawks get the puck to center ice. Now they move it into the Sabres zone. Working to the left side of Hutton, just unable to get a shot off, and the Sabres get the puck back, and they pass it behind their own net so they can set up from there. 4-4, minute 5 to go now in the third period, as we have a minute left, maybe time for 1 or 2 more rushes here. Sabres get the puck in the Blackhawks zone. Now they have the puck behind the net. Eichel with the puck, trying to dance around. 2 Blackhawks players defend him, push him against the wall. He's able to hold off the puck, fend them off. Sabres player number 23 goes back with Eichel. Eichel comes out with the puck. Blackhawks guy swipes at it and is able to clear it to center ice, where the Sabres get it back. And then the Blackhawks get back off a turnover and dump it into the Sabres zone. Sabres get back there, get behind the net. The Sabres player falls over an official. He trips over the official's skate. So that must be embarrassing. 4-4, 25 seconds to go in regulation. Doesn't Metcalf have good breeding from his dad? He does. You do have to take a look at the fact that he has a history in the NFL. But no, that does not convince me. I just watch again. I encourage anybody to watch some DK Metcalf games, not highlights. Again, highlights will emphasize what he's good at, and he's good at going and getting the ball, and I won't disagree with that. But if you watch end of regulation, 4-4, both teams will be getting a point in this one. Again, if we want to have a chance at the playoffs, we need to just keep getting 2 points. 2 points, 2 points, 2 points, 2 points, 2 points. Win out, we might be a 7 seed. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, no, I'm still not convinced. Again, watch tape of him, and you'll see he's not the cleanest at route running. Which again, Ole Miss a lot of times they said just go run and get the ball. So maybe he needs a coach to coach him to be a better route runner. But at the same time, again, is that worth a number 9 overall pick? If we had the 15th pick and he was there, and I'd say all day take him. You can't pass that up. But at this point, I wonder if I would rather Hawkinson over DK Metcalf. I'm not sure. Again, come draft day, I'll have some sort of big board or some sort of board, and I'll give you my top 9. I'll rank them in order of where I want them. Jonah Williams, number 1, he won't be available. Nick Bosa, number 2, he won't be available. And I won't put names like Kyler Murray or anything like that on there because, well, we don't need Kyler Murray. I don't care about Kyler Murray. I don't care if he goes 1, 2, 7, 9, 32nd, 153rd. Don't care. Mr. Relevant, don't care. But I do want him to go in the top 9 because, again, that will help the Sabres out, right? Anytime you get a position not of need for the Bills, not of need that someone else needs and they pick it up, that only helps the Bills out, and I'm good with that. Remember last year? When everyone thought the Browns were going with Chubb at 4, and they didn't. They went with Ward, cornerback, I believe, or safety from Ohio State. They went with him, and then all of a sudden we had to deal with the Broncos. The Broncos said, no, Nick Chubb's available now. We're going to take him. Or Bradley Chubb, is available now. We're going to take him. So they did, and that actually helped us out because that helps us get Tremaine Edmonds. So, it's a ripple effect, right? Like, we were originally going to trade at 4 with the Broncos. It would have taken both of our first-round picks. Then we would have gotten Josh Allen there. Or, I'm sorry, that would have been 5. We were originally going to trade at 5, but I would have taken both of our first-round picks. And it would have ended there. We would have had all 3 of our seconds. But then we're able to. Overtime has started. It's a lot of fun to watch. But, we were at second-round picks, though, so you're not sure what we were done with those. But I really am happy with Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker we got with our second first-round pick. So I'm really happy with how that ripple effect played out for us. As the Blackhawks have the puck in the Sabres zone, and they're just kind of skating around with the puck, trying to find an open shot, as the Sabres are doing a good job making the Blackhawks back up and out of their zone. So back to center ice with the puck. Blackhawks try to pass it down ice, unable to do so. Eichel gets the puck, passes it up the boards. Where now we slow down with it, trying to find an open man, unable to do so with a bad pass behind the net. Having the puck up front, Hutton with a great save. Great kick save. Sad with the puck up front was able to turn the Sabres over, and he had the puck up front with time, and Hutton just stays with it, shows patience, and is able to make the saves necessary to keep this alive for the Buffalo Sabres. Gets a glove on the puck, and then we have the blown whistle, so we will have a face-off in the Sabres zone. Four to 4, 3:50 to go in the overtime period. Sabres have the puck, a long shot on goal for the Sabres. The puck is free, and Crawford didn't see it for a second, but he is able to swipe it out of the zone before Sabres player is able to tap it into the net. And then Blackhawks move it up the ice, and they are now in the Sabres zone where they have the puck again. 3-on-3 hockey, a lot of fun. As the Blackhawks try to slow it down a little bit. 3:20 to go in overtime. Number 15 for the Blackhawks has the puck, passes it to number 2. That's Sad, I believe. Passes it to the right, who's unable to connect number 88, and Hutton's able to pass the puck to the Sabres, who now have the puck and are moving up ice. They have a little bit of a 3-on-2 here if they hurry up. Shot is saved by Crawford, and now the Blackhawks move up ice, and now they have a 2-on-1. And great defensive play, breaks it up, and Hutton's able to get rid of it quickly. And now the Sabres have a 1-on-1 as we have a player moving up the left side of the ice with the puck and unable to control it, but able to get it back. And now the Sabres have the puck in the Blackhawks zone. Sweet move there by Eichel, I believe that was. But he's unable to get a shot on goal. And now the Blackhawks take it back up ice. Again, this is very exciting, this 3-on-3 stuff. So I'm enjoying it as the Blackhawks hit the post with the shot. So it's still 4-4, 2:20 to go in the overtime period as the Blackhawks have the puck. And it's outside the zone now. The Sabres get the puck, and they'll have a 2-on-1 here if they can control the puck. 2-on-1. Eichel gets the puck. Shot is off the net and unable to score there. Now the Blackhawks get the puck, and they'll have a 2-on-1 the other way. Sabres are able to recover, so it's actually a 2-on-2. Now 3-on-3 as all the players get back. Shot from the point is blocked. Blackhawks recover it. Number 19 gets the puck, shoots it, and is wide and off the glass. Sabres get the puck, and now they're moving up ice. Blackhawks have a quick 2-on-1 here. Shot and goal is saved by Hutton. Hutton is unable to pull in the rebound as the rebound comes out, and the Sabres are able to get the puck. So now we got a minute 30 to go in overtime. Again, thank you guys for joining me for this overtime game between the Buffalo Sabres and the Chicago Blackhawks. Again, a lot of Sabres fans disappointed with how the season turned out. Don't blame you, but we would love to see us end on a strong note. Blackhawks have a shot up front, and they are unable to score there. So still 4-4, a minute to go. Blackhawks have the puck still in the Sabres zone. Hutton doing a great job right now, keeping this game tied. Blackhawks still have the puck. Skating around with it in the Sabres zone. Pass is deflected by a Sabre, goes behind the net. Blackhawks able to recover. Quick pass goes behind the net, still in the Sabres zone. The Blackhawks holding the puck in the Sabres zone. And then the Sabres do get the puck back. And they will move the puck up ice. Skinner tries to control the puck. He turns the puck over, and now the Blackhawks have a quick 2-on-1. The puck does get away from the Blackhawks player, and the puck is now behind the net where the Sabres are able to get it. Jack Eichel now with the puck at center ice. He's moving up ice into the Blackhawks zone, doing a little fancy twirl, unable to... Do the Sabres score? Sabres are pounding away at the puck, and the ref is signaling no goal, as the whistle has blown now. And Crawford is on the ice, holding down a Sabre player. I'm not sure what's going on here. As Bogason was pounding away at the puck, and I'm not sure if Crawford thought there should have been a whistle beforehand. But Bogoson's in there, and he's chopping away with his stick, trying to find the puck. Eichel just gets the puck on net. And yeah, I mean, the puck's free. The puck's definitely out there. Interesting that didn't go in at some point. They're going to look at the overhead angle now. Man, it never goes in. So with 13 seconds to go in overtime, still 4-4. And we're getting ready for the face-off here. Hopefully he didn't go too far. Glad we can make it back. before anything really happened. They're still reviewing the play to see if there was a goal. No goal called on the ice as was expected. So we're going to have a face-off with 13 seconds to go in the Blackhawks zone. Secret place, I work sneaking that tomorrow. I don't need it. I work for the government. It doesn't need to be a secret. I can just do it on the floor. No, I don't mind. I'm normally up late, so it's not that big of a deal. Enjoy being with you guys. Promethean, I appreciate you sticking around with me to watch the end of this game. Blackhawks win the face-off, and they head up ice. Again, only 8 seconds left to go in overtime, so maybe one more shot. Eichel has the puck. 3, 2, 1. He shoots the puck, and it's off the net. So we're going to a shootout here in Chicago with the Chicago Blackhawks and the Buffalo Sabres tied 4-4. Again, both teams, as we knew going into overtime, both teams getting a point here, which can only help. And then we will, again, I have a text real quick. So while they're getting ready for a shootout, I will text who I need to text. And again, I can't text and talk at the same time. It's going to commercial break anyway, so you're not missing much. We already talked about the Bills, the Sabres, the Bulls. If you want to talk about anything Promethean, it looks like you're the only one commenting, so I'm more than happy to do so. If someone else wants to comment, obviously I appreciate you guys joining me, staying up this late on was it Thursday? I don't even know what day it is. One of the days of the week. It's Monday through Friday. I know that. So all right. So we have a shootout now. Blackhawks get to shoot first. Number 19 for the Blackhawks fakes out Hutton pretty easily, and Hutton leaves a wide open net for, I think that's Taves, who scores for the Blackhawks. So now it's 1-0 Blackhawks in the shootout. Yeah, he just Hutton just went one way, and Towes was able to get the puck in. So now Eichel is 2 for 6 in shootouts so far this season. He is going to shoot for the Buffalo Sabres. He's moving up ice, looking at Crawford, scores for the Sabres. So it's 1-1 in the shootout for the Buffalo Sabres. So now it's going back and forth, 1-1. Crawford just shoots it past, Eichel shoots it past Crawford on the left side and able to score, gets up past the pad, and it's 1-1 in the shootout. Patrick Kane now on the ice for the Chicago Blackhawks, looking to score for the Blackhawks, and he does score, goes upper right past the glove side, stick side of Hutton. So it's now 2-1, Chicago leading the shootout. It's funny how these shootouts go sometimes. Sometimes it's glove side, beats Hutton glove side. It's funny how they go sometimes. Sometimes you watch the goalies just impress you, right? Sam Reinhart now in 2 for 4 on the season in shootouts, and then some of these you just score back and forth. As Crawford makes the first save of the shootout, so now Hutton needs to make this save for the Sabres to have a shot here to win this game still. So Hutton needs to make a save, and then the third shooter for the Sabres will have to score in order for the Sabres to keep the shootout going. So the shooter for the Blackhawks is now on the ice. He's moving up ice. He shoots and he scores. So this game is over. The Blackhawks score on all 3 of their shootout chances, and the Buffalo Sabres lose this one in a shootout 5-4, as it's number 12 for the Blackhawks, who scores the game-winning shootout goal. So again, the Sabres lose this one 5-4. I thought Hutton played great again. Not going to get the win. He's going to get the loss for this game, but I thought he played really well. It's a shame that he had to lose this one, but we lose 5-4. Again, the defense just letting us down a little bit with the turnovers in our own zone. Two times, two of the Blackhawks goals were forced off turnovers by the Buffalo Sabres defense, not giving Hutton time to really see where the pucks can go. And I don't really put those on him all the time. You have to have a good defense in front of you in order to succeed in the NHL, and the Sabres just don't have that. The Sabres just don't have that. We have the offensive firepower to do it, as we see in this game. We have the goaltending to do it. We just need help on that defensive side, and you know that's supposed to be Coach Housley's specialty, and for him not to be able to do it, that's why I think he needs to go. So that's what I will leave you with. Again, thank you for joining me on Believers Talk streams, about 3 hours long now. So I really appreciate all of you who joined me. If you're not watching it live, if you're watching this on replay, on playback, be sure to leave a comment. If you haven't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Like this video. Again, thank you all for your support and your subscriptions and your likes so far. But I want to keep this channel growing so that way I can keep you updated on all Buffalo sports news. So again, thank you for joining me. My name is Joe. I look forward to seeing you all soon, whether it be live, whether it be videos about free agency coming up again Monday, March 11th, which is just 4 days away. That's when we can start talking, right? And let's not forget, tomorrow, the San Antonio Brown news isn't going anywhere. Tomorrow, people are talking that the trade might go down tomorrow. So we might be live for that, depending on who gets them. We might be doing a video for that. Starting doing videos come Monday for free agency. We went over the top 101 free agents while we were doing this live stream, so you can listen through for that. And then March 13th, not only is it NFL Draft Day, it's my birthday. I'm going to have a great day. I'm going to be joining you for videos, obviously. Not Draft Day, but free agency day. I'm going to be joining you for videos, and I'll enjoy doing that. Thank you again for staying with me on this late night. I look forward to seeing you all soon. Until I do, go Sabres.